Hello and welcome to another episode of the Kennel NRL podcast. Yes, we are late again, as usual. I do apologize, but technical issues always seem to plague us, especially when it's finals time. But let me tell you, boys, I am very excited. We have made the finals for the second year in a row. It had been a very long time before that since we had made the finals. Today, I'm very nervous but excited at the same time because there's a big task ahead of us, and everyone's doubting the Bulldogs. People have us way down in the power rankings. People think that the Sharks are doing better than us or whatever. Anyway, I say bring the hate. Let's talk. Let's chat. And Debo will be joining us very soon. As I say, just the technical issues are killing us. But I'm very happy to be here tonight. I love you all. It's all so much fun being here. I want to give a big shout out to everyone that's on the chat. Norm always in there first. Knox Corvus. Who else is here? Brian Dib always talking his smack. Eddie Abs, Buffalo Snowy, Magas, Brian Dib again. Who else? Omar A. Eddie Abs, Abraham, Magas again, TM, Scott Wood. Good afternoon, good evening. Against Delicious is in here as well. There's just so many people in here today. Welcome. There's so much to talk about today, and I'm so excited to tell you guys why the Bulldogs are going to win the grand final this year. But before that, let's see if Dibbo is working. Good
Yeah.
afternoon, evening, Dibbo. How
G'day,
you doing?
mate. Good, mate. Yourself? Sorry,
Oh my god, it worked.
I just
It-
had a bit of glitches, mate. So yeah, just had to restart the whole system. That's all it needed. Thought so.
Oh, can't believe it. Can't believe it worked straight away. We didn't even have to tinker with it. He just had to restart his computer and it worked well.
Yeah, there we go.
FKTV, welcome, Dibbo. How you doing, bro? How you feeling before the finals?
Nostalgic, um, lamenting. Yeah, just poignant. So just all those.
So,
Yeah,
some interesting adjectives there. And look, there's even in amongst our ranks, even amongst our ranks, there are people who are doubting. There are Bulldog supporters who questioning the Bulldogs' ability. So I want to have a little bit of a talk to you guys. I'm going to give you a little bit of a rev up. But what's wrong with you guys? The Dogs are in the finals for the second year in a row, Debo. Like, am I wrong for being excited about this? Like, like
you know
I
what?
don't get
You
it.
know what? You can go back for 10 years, no finals, picking up a few wooden spoons along the way. If that's what they're happy with and raging it every week, you can go back to that because he's a finished third, for God's sake. I keep telling you, he's finished third. And they're still all down and pessimistic and just negative and about to, bash the next person that dare suggest that the Dogs had a good season or in with a chance. We're not saying they're going to win on Friday, but as a fan, it's good to back your team. But yeah, get behind your team, lads. Bloody
I'm
hell, you don't
saying,
have an immortal lineup. Get behind them.
bro, I'm saying that the Bulldogs are going to win on Friday night, and I'm going to go as far as to say that I think that people are underestimating us to their detriment, and I think it's a good thing that people are underestimating us. I just want to give a quick shout out. Jamie Teasdale coming in with $10 super chat. Yeah, the boys, how are we tonight, gentlemen? Not happy with the last game, but I believe Critter will have the boys pumped for the next ones, and I do trust in Zero as much as people want to shoot him down. Uh, Look, I love this. This is sort of right. It goes to the heart of sort of what we're talking about, right? So, uh, firstly, I want to talk about that Sharks game quickly. Look, that was a nothing game,
Dear Phil
right?
Watto. Look, I'm not saying you're wrong, dear Phil Watto, but yeah, just get behind your team.
That was a nothing game. That Sharks game was a nothing game for us. And one
No,
of the
you
things.
can't say that. No, Elmo, not a good take.
Why is
Can't
that?
say it's a nothing game because you don't want to be losing. And we've been
No,
hearing
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
losing
no. You're
lately.
misunderstanding me. No. You're misunderstanding. I'm not saying that this is an excuse. I'm saying this is a reason. And when I say this is a reason, what I mean by that is that the Bulldogs have this problem of complacency. We saw it against the Tigers. We saw it against the Roosters. We saw it earlier in the year against the Broncos when we were leading 16-0, and then we saw it against the Sharks. There was nothing to play for in that game. What the Bulldogs have become is big game players, but not anything in between. They get complacent and they drop their form. I'm telling you, the Dogs get up for the big games, but seem to forget that there are other games involved. The minute we knew we're locked in for the top four, it's like they sort of stopped trying. Similarly to last year, even though we lost that final against Manly, I do believe we were the better team, even though we got smashed twice before that against the Cowboys and the Sea Eagles. So you could disagree with me as much as you want, but I think that Seraldo knows that when it comes to the finals, there's going to be a different style of preparation. There's going to be a different mentality, and this is going to be a big game. I've got everyone coming at me in the comments. Debate, am I all right? So the question that I've asked in the title is: Am I an optimist or am I in denial? Am I delusional? Be
Look,
honest.
you're optimistic, but you're optimistic, but you just gotta, yeah, just get
Temperate.
to the. No, you got to separate between reality and optimism, basically. Got to be optimistic, but look, the boys made some few good points. Why the bulk of the players, or yeah, they made a good point. Either you go in, go hard. If it was a nothing game, why play the bulk of the players, or you go in and go hard? And Cronulla put up their whole lineup. So did Canterbury. I hope it's not a precursor for your club before the finals, because that if they put up their whole lineup, and so did you guys pretty much put up your whole lineup, let's say, it's a game you wanted to not get beat by 3 tries. It's a game you would have wanted to either win or be in it the whole way, basically.
So wait, so you want me to believe? You want me to believe that the team that played on Friday is the same team, the same energy, the same drive, the same motivation, right? That we've seen against a much better team, like the team that we saw against Melbourne, for example. Yeah, you can't convince me that that was the same team with the same drive and the same motivation, right?
Definitely the same team, same drive.
I disagree
Comprehensively,
completely.
comprehensively outplayed in the first half against Melbourne, and then obviously Melbourne tinkered off in that second half, including some poor discipline and a sin bin. I don't think Melbourne will produce. It's hard for them to produce another crappy performance like that. Canterbury definitely need to go about 10 rungs above of what they're playing, and it's for a whole game. Definitely going to be a cracking game on Friday. Anyone that suggests otherwise needs to get their head checked. Going to be a tough game. Going to be very, very tough. A hard one to choose. As much as Melbourne hasn't been winning form either. So, yeah,
Yeah, I
tough.
don't think
But
I'm
you know what?
suggesting.
All four games this week. Kid you not, the underdog or whoever's got the longer odds could potentially win. Like normally year in year out, you'll say, "Oh yeah, no chance." Next, like for like half the games, for example. Like this week,
Look,
it's just that sort of year.
I'm not suggesting for a minute. Yeah, I'm not suggesting for a minute there's going to be an easy game. I think I want to make that very clear. I'm not suggesting it's going to be an easy game, but I also feel, and I'm going to be really honest here, that the Bulldogs are going to ambush the Storm, and I feel like the last few weeks has been the Bulldogs treading water, right? To ill effect,
Who's
because
going to be
that's not
ambushing them? Your front rows have been missing.
well. I mean,
You really need your front
King.
rowers to step it up. King and Hughes really need a lift. If you want to
So,
ambush them, they got to bring
so
the
did you
aggression.
Did you see the report today about
Yep.
Max King saying that apparently he was suffering from he was sickness because he had a mold problem at his house? Did you read that? And apparently the dogs have moved him into a place in Mascot, and
Have,
that's why he's been sick. And
have you
uh,
have you seen my house? It's got mold in it as well, all over. And I can tell you now, it's probably a piss poor excuse. That's piss poor. He's probably getting laughed at. He's got to bring the
look,
aggression. He's not an aggressive sort of player. So,
I think what he needs
anyways,
to do is take his lessons from Setili Tupanua and run at the line, right? Run at the line like he's giving himself up. That's what he needs to do. It's all he needs to do is just run hard. it's like he conserves his energy so he can play more minutes. But like to be honest, you know what's gonna be. Let me tell you
Mm.
something. You know what's going to be I'm going to make this call, and I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me, but I actually reckon that Daniel Suluka Fafita starting was better than Hughes starting. I actually
He's
think
not in
Daniel
the
Suluka
he's not in the
Fafita.
23, is he? Can you? When are
That
you going to put up the lineup? Are you putting up the lineup shortly?
Yeah, I'll put it
Because
up very very
I know the
shortly.
boys are really ripping into the lineup, so maybe put it up and he can all attack it
100%,
simultaneously. I guess.
100%. And there are some very
I've never
interesting.
I've never met a pack of fans like the Bulldogs fans that they just rip in and attack the whole club, whether they're winning or losing, from from the CEO down to the guy that sweeps the tunnels after every game. It's
Bro,
insane.
two
Even the
two
mascot
final seasons,
gets a
two
worko.
final seasons
It's
ago,
insane.
two
There
final
you go.
seasons ago.
Oh, must be my internet glitching.
Yeah, sorry, it's cutting out.
Nice one, Matthew. Nice one.
I was gonna say two final seasons ago, we didn't know when
You,
we were
you still
ever
there,
going to
although?
play finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, it must be my internet.
Yeah, it might be your internet.
Yes. Yeah,
Uh,
I can see. I can hear. It must be my crappy NBN.
um, I was gonna say um, two final seasons ago, we didn't know when the next time the Bulldogs were ever gonna play finals. Like that's the crazy thing, right? We didn't know where we were gonna make the finals. Here we are with our second final series in a row. We finished third. We've got two bites at the cherry. We have every chance to go straight to a prelim, and the fans are tearing into the team. Pull your heads in. Honestly, I'm so like like that. You don't understand this feeling today. The weather was warm. I'm driving. I'm thinking about the game on Friday. I am going down to Melbourne, thinking about the fact that the Dogs are actually back in the finals and they have an opportunity to make it far. And I just cannot believe we're back here. Like there were years, man, when I thought we were going to be like the Knights or the Eels or I don't know the Dragons. I thought we were gone for a long time, and then less than 2 years later, right? It's been less than 2 years, and we're there, and we're one of the top dogs. So like for me, just to see the way the fans are reacting, it's like, come on, boys, honestly, get into it. Let's support the team. I understand that you guys don't agree with all of Seraldo's choices, but Seraldo has gotten us here. So I think he does deserve some credit and some support for some of his decisions. Yeah. Um,
Oh,
they
I don't know.
asked,
The boys. Yeah, I think the boys
you
are
know,
going to rage it.
good, good. The Bulldogs are back, and the Bulldogs, bro, we're gonna be partying this Friday. We're gonna be partying in Melbourne and at Belmore at the same time. I'm telling you, people have no idea. People are saying, you know what I find so incredible? Honestly, I find it incredible, yeah, that people are blowing so much smoke up the Broncos' ass, and just like that, someone has to mention the Broncos. Abraham mentions the Broncos. Wallahi, as I mention it, right? The people are blowing smoke up the Broncos' ass. They've had one good game, one good win since round 15.
But they're
One good
fourth.
win since round 15. How many of them have been comeback wins or wins against D grade teams?
But didn't they just finish two wins behind you?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You look
Yeah,
at the
but
back end. No, my point is, no, no. My point is that if they're 2 wins behind us, right, and they've had one good win in 10 rounds, one good win in 10 rounds, and now people are saying the Broncos are this, the Broncos are that. It's all of a sudden like the Broncos have become, you know, top shit or whatever. Hey, they may win it. I actually think it's the most open it's ever been. But to sit here and talk about the Dogs as though the Dogs have fallen off a cliff or whatever, when you know what, when the Bulldogs need to bring it, they bring it. When the Bulldogs need to bring it, they bring it. That's my opinion,
they
right?
just haven't. They've teared it off the last 2 months. Yeah, consistency been wanting. Yeah, very. Such a tough game this week. Which Dogs are we going to get?
We're going to get lots of
are
form.
they gonna bring it, or are they just gonna come back and play a home game in the second week so they can make the prelims? What are we going to get this weekend? Are they going to ambush them as you're hoping or you're thinking? I don't think the only way you can ambush Melbourne's just through the middle, basically. So your front row is really going to be aggressive. Being found wanting your front rowers.
Look, I don't think the Broncos will win a game in the finals. I think they'll go out. They'll lose to the Raiders, and then they'll lose to the Panthers. I don't think they'll.
Oh,
I don't think
Panthers.
they'll.
RL.
Yeah, I don't think the Broncos have it in them to win finals
Are they
games.
on the Panthers side of the draw? Wow.
Yeah,
Far out. Penny Panthers. What happens if the Panthers don't beat the Warriors then?
yeah. Well, you know, it's one of those games
Oh
where,
yeah, like Warriors will be at longer odds, but they're at home. I know
yeah,
Panthers beat them in the last meeting, but like everyone's Roosters came eighth. They're in hotter form than Cronulla. I think the Roosters will be the favourites. But I just feel like that 24-6 victory over the Dogs have given Cronulla some belief, so a bit of a leg up. That's it can be against any side. You get whether it's a lowly side, as what happened to Brisbane a couple of months ago. They beat Gold Coast, or sorry, Cronulla. Sorry, when they had just beaten Gold Coast, but then Cronulla capitulated and gave them a freebie win. And I think by then the Broncos had 2 or 3 wins in a row, and then they went on a bit of a run. It just sort of wins like that. Like it gives the players some sort of belief. Oh, look, we're winning. Things are going right.
look, I'm with
It
you
gives them a leg
100%.
up. It gives them confidence. And
Yeah,
just feel like that 24-6 win may have given. I actually changed my tip. I had the Roosters. I've changed it to Cronulla. It's at Shark Park as well. And we know the Roosters can be on, but I mean, sometimes they can produce rocks like what they did
yeah.
against the
Rocks and
Eels a
diamonds.
couple of
Yeah,
weeks ago. And look, Canberra, Brisbane. I mean, another tough one to pick. I'm obviously leaning towards Canberra. They've come first, deservedly so. And they went on like a 10-match winning run. They did rest their players last round. It's going to be another tough game against Brisbane. I mean, they've come fourth. They've put themselves in the mix. Can they match it with Canberra? I don't know. What sort of Brisbane are we going to get on the day? They might just be wiped, or who knows? They might shell shock the Raiders. I mean, you've pointed out before, mate, that there's some players on the fringes of Canberra that ain't crash hot. And that could leak points, especially if the Broncos forward pack manages to hold with the high energy Canberra Raiders forward pack. That Canberra Raiders forward pack is stacked.
it's a great
And
forward
then
pack, and their bench is so strong as well, man.
and then you got Dogs. Like Dogs, sure, they might lose the first half comfortably, but they're always in the contest and they always come back at you. They're just like everyone's bogey team. You can't exactly blow them away. It's a finals game. I don't expect the Dogs to be going anywhere. I expect them to be in the contest from minute 1 to minute 80. It's another tough one to pick.
I,
Melbourne's missing a few players.
I think that for the Bulldogs, and someone said it here. Where is it? Someone's actually just mentioned it. Um, for the Bulldogs, it's all about mentality. If the Bulldogs go in there with that mentality, they want to rip and tear. Honestly, I think no matter who we play, we will win. I think
They got to do it. They got to
I think
do it. That's the thing.
that's the mentality we're going to win with. And the difference is this year we're more
You got to
experienced.
go
We have
produce.
I agree with you. No, I'm saying that it's about the mentality. If the Bulldogs come in with the right mentality, I'm telling you, it's going to be a huge game. But the Bulldogs are going to show people what we're made of, and people are going to be like, "Oh shit, we've got to take notice of the Dogs." Right? That team is still there. Um, people again putting it on Galvin. Like I don't get it. Jody, please don't spam in the in the chat. But will the Bulldogs make the grand final? I believe that we will make the grand final. I think that we'll make the grand final because, firstly, um, it's our defense. 12 of the last 15 grand finalists, 12 of the last 15, this is an actual stat. 12 of the
Yep,
last
listening.
15 grand finalists were the best defensive team in the competition.
Nice. Did
And
they
we
win?
are the best the best defensive team in the competition. More often than not, 85% or 80%, they win the grand final,
Nice.
right?
Very
So
nice.
we have the best defense in the competition, right? And
Very
now
good.
it's on us to use that. Now it's on
Can
us
I?
to use our defense.
Do you have a stat? It might be irrelevant, but do you have a stat on the Dogs' average of points conceded for the last 2 months, or do I just have to work it out quick? I'll probably have to work it out quick.
Might have to work it out quickly, but
How
You
much
know,
was their overall? How much was their overall for the year? Was it 17 points or something?
yeah, 17.8 points.
Geez, that's peanuts.
Yeah,
Far out. That's
yeah.
nothing. I'll tell you
The,
what.
the thing is, everyone's in the comments saying can't score points with defense, can't score this, can't score that. The thing is, I'm with you, but we've shown that if we can play our style of footy, we can score points. It's not that we can't score points. Or everybody all of a sudden thinks that we didn't destroy Manly, or we didn't destroy the Warriors, or that we didn't play well in those games. We played well, and those games you could tell we came with the right mentality from minute one or minute zero, right?
Oh,
Um,
I've just checked the Bulldogs for and against the. I mean, they're against the last um, 2 months. So they 146 points. So fantastic. That's about 18 points a game.
18 points, which
That's
is
that's
still
pretty awesome. Fucking
on
oath.
our
That's
season
like their
average, yeah,
average.
on our season
That's pretty
average, and
good.
so not many teams not many teams over the years have have made made such a good defensive effort, and I think like people are underestimating what attack we have. I think where I think our biggest weakness is seriously, Debo, is we're just so slow. If we had one speedster, like if we still had Fox, like that would
Bring
be
the
the X
aggression.
factor.
They're lacking the aggression the last couple of months. They've got to bring the aggression. I'd
As
love for
Adam
you to.
said, bro.
Is there any way you can put up the seeing the all raging over the lineup? Is there any way you can put up the lineup 1 to 17 so we can just
Yeah. I
go?
was just yeah.
Because like obviously I can see Brian's having a blow up about Montoya and Tawala, and I saw somebody earlier mentioning I think they're hoping Harry Hayes comes in and Kiraz. I think Kiraz will play anyway.
Uh,
Um,
Take it from
I
me,
don't think.
both Kiraz and Hayes are both playing.
I don't think. Who do you think misses out? Wilson or Rinakama?
Definitely Wilson.
You don't think? Oh, I'd keep Wilson, man. He's older, more mature.
I think Wilson's good
Rinakama, I
because of his
think, is just
speed.
too. But Wilson's a rocket. Wilson's fast.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Wilson's
Um,
fast. I mean, look. Do you play Sexton? Do you put Burton in the centers? Like, if man, Burton's such a
no, brother, no, brother, no,
relax. It was a
brother.
suggestion. I didn't even get
It's
to
not
finish
a
what I
good
was saying.
suggestion. It's not a good suggestion.
But you didn't let me finish what I was saying.
Go for it. Sorry,
If
go.
I'm all right, so if I'm saying if you put him in the centers, then there goes the kicking game. So it's like you negate it. His kicking game's an absolute powerhouse, and if he doesn't kick, who's kicking in the team? Do you honestly think Galvin's got a great kicking game?
Not a
No,
long, yeah, not a long kicking
no, it
game. I
doesn't
think
even
that's
come
that's the
close.
biggest thing. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
You know,
I'm
he's
with you.
got a power. It's like honestly, if you put him at a club like where there was a Katawa or a Cleary or a Moses, because they all got booming kicking games,
Mm,
right? This guy would be an absolute powerhouse or a dynamo in the centers because he wouldn't have to rely on his kicking game. You're not losing his you're losing his kicking game, but there's a kicking game there that's so good and negates it. Man, he's such a good runner off the ball. I wouldn't recommend putting him in the centers just because I don't think who they're going to put in the halves to replace him. Like it's just
yeah,
taking a strength away to try to get him to plug another hole, and then who's going to provide him? That's another thing.
yeah.
Who's going to give him the ball? So I'd say have him there. Um, and then obviously, like, who are you going to put? Does Sexton come back in 7? Are they going to throw something out of left field? Put Sexton back in 7. Do you, for example, Galvin play in the centers? I can't see why he couldn't. Or does he come off the bench at lock and you keep the back 5 as is? Like, it's just
So
they got to
I
reinvigorate the team.
I have some thoughts, but I want to get to Brad Cambridge's super chat first. Dogs attack was a big dog shit last week, and we lost Sherry and Montoya to make it even worse. So losing Sherry was a big one. He has been out of form, but I think his defense has been great. We can see very few tries on his edge, so that was definitely disappointing. But like, it's hard to know what is going to happen in the game, so you can't really blame anyone for that. Um, Losing Montoya is also not great. Not that I think Montoya is the best player in the world, but he's got the experience. As for who I think should stay out of Wilson and Rinakama, I do think it's Wilson because of the speed, and I think he has a little bit more experience, but he does get
I'd
ragged
have
on a
him.
little bit, and his defense is a little bit suspect. But I feel like his speed is an aspect of the game that will give us some X factor, in my honest opinion. Now, before we continue on, I just want to give you guys some quick information. So for the final series, we've actually got a new sponsor for the channel. So these guys have graciously come on to sponsor us, and it is an exciting one this time. So we've actually partnered with a company called Essence Exchange. So if I could just quickly show you guys what we do. I'm only going to take a couple of seconds of your time, but I want to tell you guys a little bit about Essence Exchange. So, um, Essence Exchange, introducing Essence Exchange. They are Australia's destination for premium Arabian perfumes, proudly the sole supplier of Dubai's exclusive brand Reef. Their fragrances are crafted from rich oil-based blends for a strong, long-lasting scent. Not only that, but they only sell 100% originals, no dupes, and offer free shipping when you purchase any two perfumes. Discover your next favorite scent today at essenceexchange.com.au. And if you buy with the code Kennel20, you will get 20% off your purchase. Let me repeat, 20% off your purchase if you use the code Kennel20. That's exclusive to our channel. And some of the stuff that they've got, I actually just got one from them. It's called the Bluest. I'll share it with you guys. Their perfume is really, really good. Um, it's stuff that you find if you go to Dubai, if you go to Saudi, some of those big fancy malls. Um, that's the type of perfume that you've got. So if you are interested, go to essenceexchange.com.au and use Kennel20 for 20% off. And that was me sending out for
Oh,
five
that looks
minutes.
good.
Now back to
Do I
regular
get?
programming.
Where's my free sample?
I swear it's on. No, you're getting a full bottle. It's on the way. It's on the way.
You know what?
um,
I'll once it arrives, I'll choose a member and I'll give it to him on the house. That's what
that's
I'm going to
awesome.
do.
Um,
So I'll choose. You can
Brahim
come.
Dips on
Well,
setting off the.
am I receiving it this week so I can give it to him on the house?
Yeah, this week we'll get it. This week
All right.
we'll do a couple of giveaways. What we'll do next week is do a couple of giveaways for the perfume, and we'll give away
Yep.
what's it called, a heritage jersey next week. How about that? We'll do a couple of giveaways next week to celebrate the Dogs going straight to the premier, straight to the prelims. We'll give away some stuff. So
Done.
now, now let's talk about the team because there is a lot to talk about here. Um, and I'm going to give you some info. Um, there are going to be some massive changes to this team. Um, so people are saying, and someone said it in the comments, that Sexton may be a chance to come into seven. Let me put that to bed. Sexton's not
Ah,
playing.
that would be nice. He's not
Sexton's
playing,
not
eh?
playing. No, he's not playing.
No,
It's
no left field surprise.
um, look, it depends on what you consider a left field surprise. Um, so if you look at
You know what?
so
Elmo's a party pooper.
why is that? Why am I a
Start
party
throwing
pooper?
conspiracies. Start throwing conspiracies around. You know, the crowd wants Sexton in. The audience wants Sexton in. The audience
To be
shall
honest,
not be denied.
I don't think Sexton would make that big of a difference to the team. To be really honest with you,
They
um,
need something to reinvigorate them. Something. Where is it coming from, Elmo?
so so let's
Well,
go
let's
through
look
the
at their
team.
lineup. Yeah, let's start bashing their lineup because that's
All
what
right,
Dogs fans do. Anyway,
let's go through the Dogs lineup, right? So obviously, Connor Macy at fullback. Interestingly, we've got Ratu Renakama on the wing and Enari Tuala at centre. Then you've got at left centre, you've got Stephen Crichton and Blake Wilson. Matt Burton, Lachlan Galvin, Max King, Bailey Haywood at 9. So I don't know if this is going to happen, but I have been hearing that apparently Marnie is going to start. Um, I don't know how legitimate that is, but Marnie may be starting. That's the first thing. Um, and then you got Sam Hughes, Viliami Kikau, Jacob Preston, Jamin Salmon, and then the bench is Kurt Mann, Satili Tupanua, Josh Curran, Reid Marnie. The extended
yep.
bench is Curtis Morin, Toby Sexton, Harry Hayes, Jacob Kiraz, and Jake Turpin. So two things there. My mail is that Sam Hughes will drop out. Josh Curran is going to start. Harry Hayes will come onto the bench for Josh Curran, with Hughes missing out. Um, and also, Wilson will drop out. Kiraz
Yep.
will go in his place to mark. He's going to be marking Xavier Coates. So
No.
if you guys remember a few weeks ago, um, Jacob Kiraz did a great job on Xavier Coates in defense. Do I think we can do that again? Absolutely. Do I want us to do that again? Absolutely. So I think Kiraz coming in, he will be needled, mind you. He will be needled. There is even, you know, I was even thinking like potentially dropping someone like Jamin Salmon, have Haywood start at lock, and then you can have Marnie start at 9, and then bring like a Daniel Saluka Fafita onto the bench. Like if we had 3 forwards on the bench and Kurt Mann, I think that adds so much to our team. In my honest opinion. So I don't know. That's where there's so much in this team that could still change between now and then. But I can put paid or completely right guarantee Sexton won't be starting at 7. That's a guarantee. Um,
What do you do with the elephant in the room? A salmon. I mean, they're honestly at work. So at my workplace, like most of the people that even support the Bulldogs, salmon's on literally everyone's lips when it comes to discussing the Bulldogs lineup. And this is since Monday. Over the weekend, in friends group chats, from Doggies fans' lips, the pundits, other podcasts, the player on most people's lips is Salmon, and it's all of the same opinion. What's Kurt Mann doing on the bench for him for 50 minutes, for example? Like, should he be in the 17? What do you do with Salmon? Do you then bench him, or do you just not play him? I feel like you need some spark, some go forward. I think there's enough players to do what he's doing out there already, and I really, really think you need some hot rod out there. Someone to spark, someone to bring the rage, even if it means bringing Saluka Fafita, although I can't even see his name in the 23.
no, he's not in the 23. So
Does
to bring him
Curtis
in
does
will
Curtis
give him a
Morin,
cushion.
does the pocket rocket get a run? He brings a lot of energy. Does he get a run? Like who? Who's
Yeah,
it going to
I
be?
think I reckon if you had Curtis Morin and Satili Tupanua on the bench, what that does for your rotation is remarkable because the amount of impact that you get off the bench will be insane, in my opinion.
Like,
Like,
like honestly, yeah, go on. No, I'm
yeah,
listening.
so I want to agree with you, right? That Salmon plays an average of about 25, 30 minutes. He only does defense. He doesn't bring what the Bulldogs need, I think, overall. And so I just cannot understand for the life of me why Salmon has had such a good run of it. Like I don't want to sit here and bash anyone. Genuinely,
Like,
I don't want to sit here and bash Salmon. But in a
yeah,
finals game when we are a small forward pack, you would think a Morin with fast leg speed that can complement Sitiri Tupanua, Hayes, and Morin, who in their own right are actually pretty quick, would be the way to go. Because you can imagine that speed coming on after 20, 25 minutes when, all the fatigue is starting to kick in, and you just imagine Tupanua, Morin, man, he's just coming on with their speed. It just creates that that dynamism that we haven't had, and that's why I think everyone's so happy with Tupanua because he's so dynamic and his leg speed is so good. So like I'm 100% with you. I think Salmon is definitely the elephant in the room, so to speak. I definitely agree with you.
and from the current lineup, so you're saying Kiraz will come in, and it's then musical chairs. Does Kiraz go into the centres then? I wouldn't. I wouldn't put him there, to be honest, because his strength he's a dynamo playing off the wing. Um, do you leave Tuala in the centres? That's another question. You're saying Harry Hayes will come in. I love the look of your bench. Like, obviously, I would still rather Kurt Mann start. Or do we
Mm.
start? Does Kurt Mann start and Harry Hayes come onto the bench and Salmon straight out of the 17? I like that. Other than that, I mean, obviously, I'd love to see Marnie starting, get in the trenches, and then Hayward come on. Probably, I'd say after 25 minutes of the first half, and then bring the rage, and then also probably play 15 minutes of the second half, and then bring Marnie on to finish off the game, or Marnie come back out again, and then give Hayward again the last 15. Of the hooking duties to bring the energy where they need him most to try to get off get take advantage of the tired legs. I like to see that. Just pretty much back to basics, really, Elmo. If you think about it, because that's what Canterbury was doing for the first, let's say, 15, 16 rounds. It was all basics. They were doing all the 1%ers right. They'll do all the small stuff right, all the basics. Like, go back to it. I think it'll do you a lot better in terms of playing consistent footy. Whether you get the result or not. At least we're not going to have a piss poor effort from what we saw from Canterbury, compared to what we sent them for most of the year. At least we'll get a consistent 70, 80-minute effort, Elmo. We know how deadly they are when they can string it together. They just grind you away. We're not expecting them to blow them away, but they grind you away. They choke the life out of you. Do you remember when Canterbury was choking the life out of everyone for the first 4 months?
So quickly on Kiraz. If Kiraz is playing,
Yeah.
If Kiraz is playing, then he has to mark Xavier Coates. He has to. I think if he's playing, there's no point in playing him if he's not going to be marking
Agreed.
Xavier Coates. I think
Agreed.
he nullifies Xavier Coates. But before that, I do want to give a quick shout out to Eddie Abb's son. His son is he's got his grand final on Saturday, so we want to wish Eddie Abb's son, Eddie Abbs, what's your son's name? I just want to wish him good luck on his grand final on Saturday. Let me know who he plays for, what his name is, and I'd love to give him a proper shout out, bro. Really, really hope he has a great Saturday grand final. Just after he wins, he watches the doggies go straight to the prelim, to G him up. EJ, best of luck, EJ, on your grand final on Saturday. I hope you play well.
Sorry, what side was it again?
Blacktown Bears.
Blacktown Bears. Wow. There's a Blacktown Bears?
I'll be honest.
Are they the part of the Para comp or the Penrith comp? I didn't even know there was a Blacktown Bears. That's pretty awesome. Is that Penrith comp? Wow, Division 1 grand final.
Yeah, I would assume it's Black.
Penrith and Parramatta comps are really tough. They were like multiple divisions. Gee whiz, Division 1 grand final. That whole team must be stacked with talent. Pretty good, man.
Deep, I didn't see your super chat. Sorry, give me your best super chats to win a bottle from Essence Exchange. Yeah, all right, let's go with that. The person that gives us the best super chat by the end of the night.
Your opinions, whether you want to abuse me or Elmo or just say suck shit St George, we're reduced to playing finals and reserve grade. Anything, just give me your best or some left field suggestion of your lineups or conspiracies of the finals or how some certain sides will go or who's going to be surprise package. Like, for example, I think your most important player, your most important players on Friday will be Sam Hughes and Max King. Because if those two players bring the rage and absolutely annihilate their opposing front rowers, that will set up a platform for an ambush as that Elmo wants. Outside of those two guys, your next most important player is Matt Burton.
I was just about to say, I don't think there's anyone as important to the Dogs as Matt Burton. If Burton is on, we will win. If you look at all the games that we've won, all the games that we've played well, when Burton has played his best, we have dominated. Burton needs to run and he needs to kick. One of the things I realized,
need your front rower.
Look, Tupanua, I just want to see Tupanua go out there and just continue to just give that leg speed all he's got. I think having Hayes will be a big bonus as well. I want to see a little bit more, as you say, from Max King. I think Max King needs to go out there and kamikaze
a lot more. Even Sam Hughes.
Yeah, they just need to go kamikaze. Just honestly learn from Sitili Tupanua.
100%.
See what Tupanua's doing. Honestly, just do what Tupanua's doing. I think if we had 17 players running like Tupanua, we will put 50 on the Storm. That's what we need. I think Preston's form has been great as well. He's sort of going under the radar because the amount of defensive work that he's doing. But I've done like MVP for every single game for the last 5 weeks. And I swear to God, I think Preston has been one of the 3 MVPs 4 weeks in a row. That's how good Preston has been.
Front row's got to lay the platform. It's finals.
I agree.
Your front row, they're going to lay the platform.
This is on right now. This is on. It's on Max King.
Sam Hughes and Max King. It's on their head. They're the most 2 players. Under pressure. TM, you can keep your clothes on. You know, if you want, give me
Tiam,
your
I'm gonna
best
hold
super
you to
chat.
that. Hey, Tiam, I'm gonna hold
No,
you to that.
no,
If the
no.
dogs put 50 on the Storm, right? You gotta strip naked at Belmore. That's what you gotta do. And, and then he follows it up by saying the dogs are gone. The dogs are not gone, brother. The dogs are gonna win. We're gonna go straight to the prelim, and then we're gonna win the prelim because we're gonna have 80,000 dogs fans there. I don't care who we're playing. It's gonna be 80,000 dogs fans at Accor Stadium, and it's gonna be so loud and so rowdy that the other team may forfeit. It may be so crazy that the other team's gonna forfeit, bro. The dogs, honestly, the dogs are absolutely going to. Bro, I love how people are underestimating us. People underestimate the dogs, and the dogs are gonna come out and prove everybody wrong. I remember before the Manly game. People were talking about the dogs, about the capability of the dogs. You know, can they do this? Can they do this? Can they do this? The dogs came out and smashed Manly. Same thing against New Zealand. The dogs came out and smashed New Zealand. Bro, people have no idea what we're going to do on Friday night. It's going to be such a big ambush. John, with the super chat, win, rest, win, win. Win, rest, win, win. John, I want to ask you, bro.
Already, you know what? That's already a candidate for to get the free. You know, I'll make sure. I hope whatever. I think it'll be what is it, oud or something, perfume bottle.
We can get him to choose. We can get him to go to the Essence Exchange website and choose which one he wants.
So that's my winner at the moment. So you boys better come out and try to trump that. Win,
Um,
rest, win, win. What a
oh,
winning formula.
John, I want to ask you. You were the Nostradamus at the beginning of the year who predicted we would go 10 straight, and we sort of almost did. We went 7 straight. What are you predicting for the Bulldogs and the Storm? What are you predicting for the grand final? How far are the Bulldogs going to go? I'd really like to hear what you have to say. But yeah, so look, the problem with the team that we've named is that it's the same issue that we've had all like since whatever round 17. It's that why are we running Reed, Kurt, um, Bailey, and Jamin Salmon in the same team? We're already a small team, and it's making us smaller, and that's what I think. I don't understand. Like we could have easily had Daniel Saluka Fafita there, as you say, with this Curtis Morin there. So I think they're the frustrations, but I do think we still have the team to do it. Honestly, I do think we have the team to do it. Debo, do you want to go through the Melbourne team and give me your thoughts on the Melbourne team?
Yeah, look, Nick Meaney at fullback. He's been very safe, and he was a very able player at Canterbury. I know a lot of you fans didn't want to see him go. Being very safe. You know, his game's gone another level since he's gone to the Storm. Will Warbrick's come back from a long injury layoff, and he'll get better every week. Interesting. He's got Grant Anderson and Joe Chan in the centres. Joe Chan, who's we've seen him play lock or second row, is in the centres. Like golden opportunity for Canterbury. I'd try to get Crichton on him, to be honest. I would try to isolate Crichton on him because we've all seen what Crichton can do when he goes on a rampage. Do you remember against Canberra? I think he set up 3 tries in 5 minutes. He became Optimus Prime. You couldn't bring him down. He was just untouchable. Xavier Coates, we all know what he's capable of. If he's not screaming, if he's not flying through the air, he's running the length of the field. And then you got Cam Munster and Tyron Wishart. Like I was iffy whether, when I sort of line up, I thought you put Cam Munster at fullback, but I thought you know what, you got to have an experienced head sitting in the halves. And look, he's got the ever reliable Tyron Wishart, who's done an admirable job filling in for Hughes throughout the year. And then, look, they got Pezzett on the bench to back him up. And I know Pezzett will come on at some stage. Itikamano's, post-Origin, his game's picked up. It's gone to new heights. The Itikamanu that we know can play, he's playing his best footy of his career. Harry Grant's back. Harry Grant, to you guys, is going to be Megatron. This guy is wheeling, dealing, as Ric Flair would say, conniving, diving, hooker. You saw what he did against Penrith. He took a dive, but then he was so game enough to go steal the win. Instead of going, fake the pass to for a drop guy and just dummy and win himself. He's a nightmare to play against. He's playing career best footy he's played in a few years. And then you got Josh King. He's a powerhouse. I'm surprised he hasn't played Origin yet. Ativalu Lasati, very young in his career. look, he's a bolter. Obviously there was the injury to Sean Blaw, but Craig Bellamy is one of the greatest judges of talent that we got. So he's obviously thrown Lasardi in the deep end. He knows what he's capable of. Whether he produces on the day, I don't know. We haven't seen enough of him. And then we got the dynamo duo of Eli Qatar, the try scoring freak. He's been scoring a lot of tries this year and last year. If he's not barnstorming through holes, he's leaping through the air and catching balls. And Luero, he's played start of Origin, and we all know what he's capable of. And they got a decent bench like John Pezzett. You know, powerhouse. I'd love for my club to sign him. It's whether they're going to give him enough money or entice him. I mean, I know Jono would love to be tested. I'll tell you now, Jono at 95% of clubs or 90% of clubs would be the starting halfback. Alec McDonald, Mr. Ever Reliable. That's all I can say about him. Tui Kamika. He's won a grand final. He's got the experience. He adds good starch off the bench. And obviously, you got the highly talented Bronson Garlic, who can play a range of positions. It's a strong 1 to 17. I feel like there may be short one prop on the bench, but we'll wait and see. It's not like exactly Canterbury have, stacked their bench with props either. So, maybe something not to worry about there. And look, there's Jack Hovarth. I think something to note, Jack Hovarth and Saw Falongo and Lazarus Vaiepu. They've all played plenty of first grade. Hovarth might slide into the centres. Who knows? Joe Chan might be a late withdrawal. Saw Falongo. We know what he can do from the back if he's given a free rein. And then Lazarus Valepu is a booming front rower. So he's a booming prop. It's crazy. They're missing a few players, but you can still talk up the whole side. That's all. I hope I glazed enough on Melbourne, Elmo. So I hope I didn't leave a sour taste in your mouth for glazing on Melbourne, but I can glaze on Canterbury now if you want.
So I think the Melbourne team, I think it's a great team. There will be some changes, just like in the Bulldogs team. I think a lot of coaches are playing smokes and mirrors. I want to give a quick shout out to Jamie Teasdale, who's given us what he thinks will happen. So he reckons Connor Tracy will come out and have a blinder, and King will come out like a wrecking ball. I can hear the comments already. Where has this been all year? I believe Sarah and the boys have something up their sleeve. That's a great comment.
Right. Man,
I actually really agree with that.
Who's gonna top that for a super chat? Optimistic. Because he's taking the risk, and if the Dogs win on Friday night, I'm sure he's all going into hiding or either be kissing his feet for having belief in the team. So great super chat. Love that one.
Yeah,
Love it.
and
Backing his team.
like
He's
this point.
he's not Mr. Negative. Not referring to you, Tiam. I'm just saying in general.
No, Tiam is Mr. Negative. Trust me, he's very negative.
I
Tiam,
love
I'm
his
calling you
chats,
out, bro.
I never ever get upset with his chats. I love him.
Nah, I love every bro. Whether you're negative or positive, bro, it's excellent. So all right. So here's what I think will happen. I reckon. I don't know if Suafa Longo will come into fullback. I think Nick Meaney will stay at fullback. I do
Yep.
reckon what I think will happen is Jack Howarth will come in at centre to replace Joe Chan. I think Bronson Garlic will drop off the bench and Joe Chan will drop to the bench. I don't think that he's going to have Joe Chan at the centres for a finals game. I'm a big fan of Joe Chan. I'm a massive fan of Joe Chan. I just don't think I don't see Joe Chan starting there. I do see Jack Howarth playing there. I honestly don't see Suafa Longo playing at fullback. Excuse me. He has been out for almost 12 weeks. I think it was I think it may have been round 16 or 17 since he hasn't played. Or actually, Jamie Teasdale saying Seve. Marion Seve could also come in at centre in place of Joe Chan,
They're so
which is a
stacked,
great
aren't
call.
they?
Yeah, it's a great call. Either one would go in. I just don't see Joe Chan being playing centre, and I don't see Nick Meaney moving from fullback. I think that they need Mr. Reliable there, someone who can do the job. And don't forget, against the Bulldogs a few weeks ago, I thought Nick Meaney had his best game of the year. His defense was impenetrable. It may just have been our shit attack, but his defense was great, and I thought Melbourne's defense was very good. 10 line breaks to 3. So uh, you know, uh, I think the danger man there is obviously Harry Grant. But they are vulnerable. So when you look at on their edges, the Melbourne Storm have been vulnerable all year. if we can actually get our passing game in order, if our right side can click, if we can have the Galvin, Crichton, um, Tracy, Kiraz connection working like we have seen it work well recently, I actually reckon we can blitz them on the right edge, not on the left. This is the thing. For some reason, we have this obsession where the Bulldogs always want to go to the left. I actually think that we should be targeting the right. I think we look far better, especially with Kiraz on the end of the movement, on the right hand side. And Kiraz is a freak, but he'll score tries that most wingers won't. Which is why I think if we do go down that route, I do think that we could definitely cause some damage on that right edge. I know Eliesa Katoa does play on the right. Um, actually, no. I think Lasati.
Did I glaze Melbourne that much that even Doggies fans are now tipping them?
No, Melbourne are a great team with a great record in the finals, and a very experienced finals team. I do think that they're vulnerable, and I think the Bulldogs, even though they lost to Melbourne in Melbourne last time, would have taken a lot out of that performance against the Storm, because now we know where they are vulnerable. And look, sure we didn't win, but we showed how we can defeat them. And I think Cecily Tupanua will be so much better for the performance last week. Him and Tuala were our best players against the Sharks. So I think we'll see some stuff happen around Tupanua, and I think we'll see a lot happen around Hayes as well. Um, but they can't be our saviors. Um, you know, it's just it would just have to depend what our backline looks like, because I think if we go in with Rinakama, Tuala, Crichton, Wilson, and Tracy, I don't know if we can win with both Rinakama and Wilson on the wings. I know that's a big call, but I struggle to see if we can win. And just while I've got everybody here, please, if I can get you guys to give me a quick thumbs up, please just give me a quick thumbs up um, on the video, or be sure to subscribe, be sure to share with your mates. And if you are sort of watching in the background, please join us and give us a thumbs up. This is we've got 56 people on. We had 70 people on before. Give us a thumbs up. Be sure to share. It really helps us in the algorithm. Check out our sponsor, essenceexchange.com.au. Use the code Kennel20 for 20% off your order. So yeah, look, I think yeah, I'm excited to see what our team can do. I made a video earlier today saying that I reckon there's five reasons why I think the Bulldogs can and will win the grand final. Now, it was more of an indication of what I think of the team, as opposed to looking at all the other sides that we're placing. And so my five reasons were: number 5 was Stephen Crichton, number 4 was Cameron Ciraldo, number 3 was built on belief, number 2 was our defense, and number 1, the main reason why I think we can win is because of the fans. I think that we will make a huge difference, especially if we can go win in Melbourne and go to game 3 straight to the prelims. I think playing at Belmore at Accor in front of 80,000 screaming Bulldogs fans will get the boys home. Dibbo, what did you think of those 5? What do you think of those 5 reasons? Are they logical, fair reasons, or do you think I'm sort of reaching a little bit?
Run through them again, and I'll tell you. Go by one, and I'll tell you.
All right. Number 1, Stephen Crichton. His individual brilliance in grand finals is noted. I think he's probably got the most moments in a grand final for one player we've ever seen.
Yeah, but he needs his team firing. In all those 4 grand finals, his team was firing. Or 3 grand finals, sorry, but his team was firing. And yeah, he did pull out some awesome individual moments, but that was on the back of, for example, look, I'll tell you what, the one against Souths, that was against the run of play. But his team was holding solid. He was able to come off his wing and take that intercept. That was fantastic. Against Brisbane.
To do it.
Yep, against Brisbane. Obviously, Cleary was running roughshod over the whole Brisbane 1-17, including the referee. Oh, that Cleary, when he turned it on, that was phenomenal. Hardly ever seen that in a grand final. Against Para, again, his team just shut out Para, and obviously Crichton could, he needs his team. So I can't put it down to his individualism. but
But I think
he's
he's
definitely a
one of
standout. He
five. I'm
won't
not
give you a
saying he's.
bad game.
I'm saying he will be if we need a big play, we have that. Like people say, who's the X factor for the Bulldogs? I think it's Stephen Crichton.
Of
I think it's
course.
Stephen Crichton. Um, my
Of course,
number
but you need
four.
your team producing. Yep, go on.
Number four was Cameron Ciraldo. I think Cameron Ciraldo will have a plan. Cameron Ciraldo has shown us that he has the footy smarts to create specific plans for specific teams, and I think
I reckon. Oh, I reckon he's got to sit with his brain trust, and that could be from your director of football down to his assistant coaches, and come out with something. Because in them there is some very experienced heads who have been there, done that, tried and tested over the years, and know what works and what doesn't, what they could potentially risk. Like to not utilize and consult with, for example, Phil Gould. For example, is who else is involved at the club? Is Terry Lamb still involved at the club?
Terry Lamb's still there. Joshy Reynolds
Who
is
else?
there,
Jason.
obviously.
Look, I know a lot of people bag out Jason Taylor, but I'm sure he's consulting with him. Who else?
Um, he's got the Villa,
No.
the young
Next,
Villa
skip.
coach. Anyway, point is, if you got someone like Gus Gould,
Not just Gus.
there.
He's got to consult the brain trust. I'm sure there's a few old heads floating around. Even Chris Anderson can offer his
Yeah,
input.
and I guarantee you that they'll be doing everything.
All right, what else? Because I'll tell you now, he hasn't won a finals game yet, Seraldo, so you can't roll. Can't give him the ups there.
That's all right.
What
It's gonna
else?
it's gonna change this week.
Oh, I hope
Um,
so. Yep.
um, then we've got number three. I said it's the built on belief. So if you look at if you um, if
These guys are killing me. We
sorry
have to pause it there. Sorry, man.
sorry
It's not
sorry
my Wi-Fi. Sorry, I mean the two super chats. That is bad. I'm gonna take a photo of that. Sorry. That's that is. Oh my god. Far out.
Well,
Sorry, this needs
Rhett
a photo.
Langlands, for the longest time, I thought Tiam was a chick and Brian Dibb was her husband with all the whinging and negativity.
That is a. All right. Bloody hell. That's deadly.
And then
Sorry,
Dog's
guys.
attack is slower than Dibbo's Wi-Fi.
I don't know. Is my Wi-Fi lagging? It's not telling me I'm lagging.
And now it's fine. Now it's fine.
You know
So
what? It's this
it
shit
was
area.
lagging
Like
before.
I reckon this whole Blakers area was the last to get NBN, and it's. I reckon we got the worst internet. When you come over, you're always complaining about the internet here. So I
Yeah,
reckon we
but
got the worst internet in
I told
Sydney.
you we should upgrade it. You guys said we don't need to upgrade it. Or we can upgrade the internet for you guys. You have much better internet.
Mate, you've seen my family. They're still living in 1996, so no one even really uses the internet. So I'm
I just
being
want to give
honest.
a.
You've seen it. No one
I
uses
just
the
want to say
internet here.
thank.
That's how backward.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
look, 100%. But I just want to say big thank you to MK and Rhett Langlands for those super chats. Honestly, actually, they're quite, bro.
you
They're
know what,
hectic. Thank you very much, guys.
After hearing you're 6'4" and 110 kilos, I'm definitely not messing with you anymore.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. You got to see him on his Instagram. Allahu Akbar. Very big boy. He did say something though. He did say something that I have to call out. Right. Um, Critter hasn't even been a top three center this year. Let's be honest. Tiam, look, there's being critical, and then there's like rage baiting or shit baiting. This is a shit bait comment. This is not even, bro. This is your one of your bottom three comments ever, and you've had some pretty big comments over the life of the podcast. So that's pretty bad, bro. I gotta admit that's pretty bad. Um, Scott Wood, Critter needs early ball before defense shuffles across, bro. That's the thing that I was saying before. Is that when Galvin gets Critter early ball, 9 times out of 10 we can score because I think that
Probably not bad.
Connor Tracy and Kiraz chime in well together. If we can work on the right hand side attack, we can actually do a lot of damage. Um, Eddie Dancer, no Doggies fans going to Melbourne. That's categorically incorrect. I can tell you I am going, and I know of honestly scores and scores of Doggies fans that were waiting in line to buy their tickets to fly down to Melbourne. But I was in this. I went to the shopping center. I seen a few Doggies fans. They're like, "Oh, you know how much are tickets? Oh, I've just booked my tickets. I'm flying down for the game." I went and had a business meeting and people were booking tickets to fly down to the game. So I categorically reject that. That's absolute shit. It's not true. So many Dogs fans are going to be down there, and believe
Yeah,
me,
yeah. there's that many. Look, I'll tell you what happened, Elmo. So he's got that many that wanted to go down, and unfortunately, I mean, the stadium really fits what 28,000 or 30,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's had that many. I reckon he's going to get somewhere between 10 to 15,000 Dogs fans going down. No kidding. Like I know so many guys that were. It was funny. One of the boys sent me a screen grab. He was number 7,919 in the queue. There was that many ahead of him to book. It was that
Yeah,
insane. There was that many Dogs fans. I think they need a bigger stadium down there when it comes to finals.
I've heard it's a great stadium though. I've heard it's a
It
great
is. It
stadium.
is.
So I'm really
It's an
excited
awesome stadium.
to be going down there. Zata was buying us tickets, and Zata, he was there. He was like, "Bro, I literally logged in as soon as it was available, and there was like 9,000 people in front of him. Luckily, it didn't
Yeah.
take that long to shuffle through, but like, it has it sold out? I'm pretty sure
No,
it's
it's
sold
sold
out
out.
or close to. Has it
Sold
already?
out. Like there was always going to be thousands and thousands that were going to miss out. Like if you
Yeah.
left it till midday, of course you were going to miss out. I think or maybe in the afternoon you were definitely missing out because
Mm.
I know they were running low already at about 11 o'clock. That's how quickly they were snapping them up.
Which is, it's a finals game between two teams who have been there or thereabouts, the whole
Oh look,
season.
Brian's back. Oh, what did Brian say?
Welcome
I
back,
don't,
Brian. Welcome back. Um,
I think he missed
I
the
don't know where
earlier
you went.
comparison by Rhett Langlands. Oh, he's
Uh,
seen it. He's called Rhett, his son or his child or a dog. So I'm gonna have a
um,
laugh on that. That's just too good.
so Matty Wright from Facebook has made a comment. He said the doors are open for the Dogs. You probably wouldn't get an easier shot at the Storm with their roster for this game. Like, not only do I agree with this, but I think the team knows this as well. And I think that Seraldo is preparing for this very sort of scenario where the Dogs go out there and attack a vulnerable Storm team. Because here's the thing, right? I think we are capable of winning against Melbourne in Melbourne. Once we get there, and if we win, I think the momentum that we will build just by that first win and the hype that people will start building up about the Dogs again, be like, oh my God, that's fantastic. That's this, that's that. Like, that's why I pay no attention to what the media actually says because, bro, they're just a bunch of shit talking idiots. Like, they have no clue, in my honest opinion. There's very little value listening to it. Even someone like Andrew Johns, um, I feel like even listening to him, like, look, I love Joey, but I just feel like a lot of the time when he talks, there isn't that much value. Like a lot of it is just like based off headlines as opposed to based on real analysis. So I don't know, man. I know I'm being look. Obviously, I'm being a biased Bulldog
Elmo,
supporter. Obviously, I'm a biased
Elmo,
Bulldog supporter. I need to put that out there. I'm a biased Bulldog supporter. You can't hate me for that.
Elmo. Just on Cam Seraldo.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, not Cam Seraldo. On the Bulldogs, look at the Bulldogs 1 to 17. All right,
yeah.
and just add in who you think's going to play Hayes and obviously who was the other
Tupouniua.
guy? Kiraz. Add him in.
Oh, Kiraz, yeah.
Look at Melbourne's lineup 1 to 17,
Mm.
and tell me where you think Canterbury are going to win. Where are the key positions? Where they're going to dominate? Who's going to be the difference against coming up against who? Where do you think the game will be won? Who
I
do you
think.
think's going to put it over who? I
All
don't
right.
care how biased you are. Just go for it.
I think if we look at Nick Meaney and Connor Tracy, I think they
Yep.
cancel each other out. I don't think that you can say one is better than the other. I know that
You don't think?
Nick Meaney overall's all right, but Connor Tracy hasn't been great, so I think they cancel each other out. Will Warbrick much better than Rinakama. Rinakama's still young. Hinari
Well,
Tuala,
oh,
yeah.
so you're saying Wilson's not going to play? Oh, I'll let you continue. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I think Wilson's not going to play. I would
All
love to
right,
see
go on.
Wilson
Yep.
play over Rinakama, but I think that they're going to have Kiraz on Crichton's edge, defending against Coates.
All right, I'll let you continue, and
Right.
everyone give us your input because we read the comments.
Um, so I think Warbrick over Rinakama, Anderson over Tuala, just barely, but I will pick Anderson over Rinakama. Obviously, I'm going to pick Crichton over Joe Chan or even Marion Seve. Coates against Kiraz. Look, I'm biased. I'm going to say it's Kiraz, but if you tell me Coates is better than Kiraz, I'm not going to argue with you. right? I'm happy to admit that, yeah, he's probably is better than Kiraz. But for me, I think Kiraz will be one of the differences between um, us winning and losing. By the way, I just want to say a big hello to Peter G. I saw you just come on not too long ago. Sorry, I wanted to say welcome earlier. So good to have you. Um, then if you look at Matt Burton and Cameron Munster, you'd say Munster because of the experience. Galvin and Wishart, I'm going to say Galvin. I don't rate Wishart. I think Pezzett is a better choice for them than Wishart. I think Wishart has a good running game, but other than that, doesn't really offer much. Yutoi Kamanu over King, currently on form. Grant over Haywood. King over Hughes. Kickout over Lasardi. Preston and Qatar. That's such a tough one.
Yeah, kind of like
I'm going to say
Qatar's more powerhouse, but they're both
I'm going
very
to
good wide runners.
Yeah, I'm going to say Preston over Katoa only because Katoa is so heavily reliant on Jerome Hughes. I'm going to say Liero over Jamin Salmon. On the bench, I'm
Quite
going to
easily.
I'm going to on the bench. I'm going to say Man over Pezzett, Tupanua over McDonald, Marnie over Garlic, or Marnie over Chan, and then Josh Curran and Tui Kamikamitha. I'm happy to give it to Kamikamitha there, only because he's more of a prop, whereas Josh Curran has a roaming position. But I will say Curran in the last two games against the Panthers and against the Sharks, I thought he was great. Right? I thought that Curran was great.
You don't.
Uh,
Like, I don't know. You guys listening at home, you guys don't think he played his best footy starting? I just feel like he paired it off when he started going bench. Remember how good he was
yeah,
the
I
first few months
agree.
when he was starting, and then the injury got in the way. But then he went to the bench and he found himself getting dropped eventually. I was just that's how I saw it anyway. I'm like, does he start? Does he start Curran?
Yeah, I
His
think he's going to
instinct.
start. Yeah, I think he's going to start him, drop Hughes, and bring Hayes onto the bench. I genuinely think that's what's going to happen, unless he surprises everybody and drops Miney or drops Salmon. But I don't think that's going to happen. I reckon he's going to drop Hughes. Curran starts at prop, and Hayes comes onto the bench. Um, so that's what I think. Um, um, so look, it is a very tough game. It's going to be a very, very tight game. That's why I say, like, neither team is going to blow the other off the park. Right, what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to ask everybody to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're sitting in the background, share this video. Again, we're running a competition to the end of the night. The best super chat wins a perfume from our sponsor, essenceexchange.com.au. Don't forget, if you do want perfume, they do provide exclusive perfume from Reef, 20% off with Kennel 20 coupon. I'm going to put a quick poll up as to what people think the score is going to be. Score between the Dogs and the Storm. Finals week one. Dogs 13 plus, which will be the most favorite
Elmo,
option.
any comments for Hoos 87?
Give me a sec. We'll get there. Storm. Any score?
I think he gave the Bronx a bit of ups earlier, not downs.
Storm. Any score? All right. Um,
Is it raining in Melbourne? Matty Wright's asked a good question. Is it? It's raining in Melbourne on Friday, isn't it?
I've got 68 people here in the live. Go in and give me your thoughts in the poll. Go in there and vote in the poll. Tell me what you think the score or who do you
Yep.
think is going to win. Um, so who's have I missed Elmo talking crap about the Bronx? So here's what I think. I think the Broncos lose to the Raiders and then have a really, really, really tight game against I think is it the winner of the Sharks and the Roosters? Who, bro? I don't care whoever it is. I don't think the Broncos will go very far. I think they'll
Come
have
on,
great
doggies
games.
team. You know, half of them are only tipping the Dogs. Where's the other half?
I think the Broncos will have a great performance, but they won't win. We're going to get into those games very quickly. Um, what I think my opinion is, what I think is going to happen. I think that the Bulldogs are going to win 22-16. I think it's going to be a very, very tight game. It's going to be a defensively oriented game, but I think the Bulldogs will just have enough to get over the top of the Storm. Matty Wright, it's on YouTube. Sorry, Yeah, our main platform is YouTube, but we do simulcast to Facebook, so it's on YouTube. Apologies. Um, so um, I think that yeah, the Bulldogs are gonna win by 4 to 6 points, if that. I think all the finals will be very very close. Um, uh, but
Matty,
yeah,
just post. Yeah, just tell Matt to post his scoreline prediction on the chat.
yeah.
It's all right.
And I'm gonna make
Tight
a bold
game.
bet. I'm gonna make a bold bet. I'm gonna make a
What is
bold
it?
bet, and I want you to give
Tiam's
me a
running.
bold bet too.
Oh, I was going to say Tiam's running nude, but anyway, go on.
Whoever wins this game, screw you, TM. Screw you, TM. He just said it. Whoever wins this game makes it to the grand final. My opinion is whoever wins this game makes it to the grand final.
All
That's
right,
my
so we
honest
got
opinion. And
about 70 people here. I'm going to give my prediction after yours, but anyway, go ahead.
uh, and anytime try scorer is going to be Viliami Kikau. Kikau is going to have the game of his life. I'm telling you.
You know what, Elmo? I'll pay you that. I think Kiko, he's going to score.
And I think
Pay you that one.
Burton is going to show everybody he's going to put Munster in his back pocket. That's what I reckon. I reckon Burton's going to come out.
Burton's ready. He's already rated. I don't think he needs to prove anything to anyone else. He just needs
Oh,
to
it's
be allowed to play
not
his
about
game.
not
That's
about
all.
proving, but I just think Burton is going to be. I think Burton is going to be
Max
a
King
big
and
part.
Sam Hughes, over to you. That's who it's over. I'm going to
Um,
say Melbourne 24, Dogs 18. It's going to be a one try score. I expect it to be close the whole way. I think the home crowd and maybe a bit of hot hometown decision should get Melbourne home in a blinder of a game. Anyone thinking otherwise,
mm.
that it won't be a close game, then they're probably deluded because Canterbury don't go away. They might get outplayed, but they don't go away. I think this is when Canterbury's when they're back. This is dogs of war level for the Bulldogs. They got it up against them. It's a tough game. It's a finals game. They've had a bit of hurt, let's say, the last couple of months, plus last year's final loss. I still expect them to make at least the prelim, but I'm going to favour Melbourne on this one, 24-18. And if I'm wrong, well done, Canterbury.
You know what? That's a good shout because, as you say, this is not going to be a blowout one way or the other. It's going to be very tight.
It's going to be a dogfight. Sorry
Absolutely, it's
about
going to be a tough
to
fight.
cliche it. It's going to be an absolute dogfight. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Like I'll be stunned if Canterbury put in a stinker. Honestly, and when I mean a stinker, that sure they might. Let's say they get outplayed, but I expect them to still be, like against Melbourne the other week, they were only down by 12 at half time. Sure, they're getting outplayed, but 2 tries is easily reversible. And they did. They could have stolen the game at that end from that second half.
You just didn't finish.
Dogs of
You,
war. That's what they need.
and I want to point out, um,
Someone
uh,
remove Zatar from the chat. I don't get it. He's not going
um,
to ref like that.
bro, listen. If and even Seraldo said this in the press conference. By the way, he
Where's the
said
kick
that.
button? Someone give me the kick button.
Hang on,
Adam G refs like the 2020. Come on, mate.
hang on a second. Hang on a second. Zatar makes a really good point here. And Seraldo sort of alluded to this in the press conference. He said that finals are usually refereed a little bit differently. The game flows a little bit more. The referees put the whistle away. If Adam G comes, excuse me, if Adam G comes with that mentality and refs in this finals game like he did in the 2023 grand final or similar, I guarantee you the Bulldogs win comfortably because that suits our style of play. The continuous play, the
Hot
ability to get our
hometown.
ball on.
They'll get some hot hometown decisions, Elmo.
Look, I'm
Can't
not denying that, but I'm saying that if he does put the whistle away, we will win comfortably. And I want to give you a reason why. The Canberra game, he ref that game in two separate halves. Both halves in very different ways. In the first half, he blew the pee out of the whistle. In the second half, he put the whistle away and we ran away with it. I'm telling you, if he refs this game like he did in the second half of the Raiders game, we will win this game very comfortably, in my honest opinion. So this is why I think Adam G is actually a blessing in disguise for the Bulldogs. And that's why I think we're going to win. I want to quickly get to some comments. Rob Kappa, good to see you in here, bro. I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. If it is your first time, thank you for coming. Critter ain't doing shit. Look, the best players in the game, they rise in the on the big occasions, and I do genuinely believe that Critter is made for these big games, and he will stand up in this occasion, just like he did against the Raiders. And I think we're going to see something great from Critter. He's going to cement himself as one of the best ever. Um, if Dogs win, we play Raiders or Broncos most likely in the prelim GG. Adam,
Prelim
Jamie
or
T
lose,
says
you mean?
no. So if the
Oh,
Dogs,
okay. Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
of I'll put it up in a minute, and we can run through it. But it's going to be 24 all with 5 minutes to go, and Credit to make Incept to win the game, bro.
Oh,
That would be so sweet. That would be
look,
so sweet.
man, Canberra or Brisbane aren't even guaranteed to make a prelim, even if they lose, for example. They could go in straight sets. That's how
They
open it
they
is.
could. Luke Wiskowski, good to see you in here, bro. Panthers supporter. Look, I'll be honest with you. My prediction is that it's going to be a Dogs v Panthers grand final. Dogs to win. But if the Panthers do the 5 in a row, I promise you, I'm going to be celebrating. I
Oh,
would
man,
love to.
I'm cheering for them to go 5 in a row. Like, sorry,
If the
Doggies
Dogs don't
fans,
win
but
it, if the Dogs don't
I
win it,
like to see
I
Penrith
want.
5 in a row.
Yeah, me too. If Dogs don't win it, I want to see the Penrith go 5 in a row. Um, I want to go to some other Rob Kappa. I've never heard someone talk so much smack, bro. Honestly, a lot of the time it's really not talking smack.
Yeah,
It's
Rob.
me being really honest, bro. I try as much as I can not to talk shit. Walla. It's me actually just being really passionate and very positive about the Dogs. Look, I have a lot of hope and a lot of optimism, but I also think that people are underestimating what the Dogs can actually do. That's my opinion. Um, Very quickly, there's been a couple of new names in here. I just want to shout out because it's so good to see you in here.
We're
Said,
gonna we will also review the other 3 games, so we haven't forgotten them.
yeah,
We will
in a
review
couple
them.
of minutes. We're almost done here. Say Jamal Hayes has been our best forward. Firstly, I want to say if you are new here, say it. Welcome, good to have you. I don't think I've seen you in here before, but if you have been, I apologize. But yes, Hayes has been one of our best, and I think he had a blinder against the Storm. His leg speed, his fitness, his energy levels were next level. So having him back is going to be huge, huge for us. Um, Peter Dibbo did say that if the Dogs make the grand final, he will wear a Dogs jersey. I am going to hold him to that. Uh, MKTV has been putting it on kick out. I just want to get his comment up.
I'm
Um,
a big diehard fan. Yeah,
where is it?
not.
Where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. Anyway, MKTV, you have no idea what you're talking about, bro. Kickout in the big games has not only performed, he's been the one of the best. So I don't know what you're talking about, bro. If Kickout comes and performs, he'll be man of the match. I think it's Kickout's going to be one of those plays that wins it or loses it for us. So I don't know what you're talking about. And look, the boys have well and truly given it to you, and you deserve it. Peter G, you're new here, bro. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you guys. We love having you guys. Um, we're so energized about the finals, bro. I might go live like on Friday night after the game or on Saturday morning. I'm that G'd for the game. I'm that G'd for the game after Dogs. Don Polo, I love Kurt, man. I hate Salmon. Look, man.
Man, I'd
I know
rather
you
be
may
in
not like.
Sydney. I'd rather be in Sydney if the Dogs win because Belmore will be going off. Actually, you know what?
Nah,
Now I think of it, I'd rather they win to see what happens at Belmore. Wow,
bro.
that's going to be insane.
If they win, let me tell you, there's a big what's it called? There's a big showing of the game, both at Canterbury leagues and outside. So that's a huge thing as well. So people are going to go from the leagues club straight out to Belmore and party if the Dogs win. That's what I reckon. So I am very excited for that. I'm very excited. To see what is going to come of it. Jamie Teasdale, a $5 super chat. Oh, you better put that jersey on. Get ready, Dibbo. Dib, have you decided what jersey you want to wear when we get to the
Told
grand
you,
final?
my whole junior footy was spent wearing a blue and white jersey. So, I'm
Oh, you
used to
tell me
wearing
which
you.
one you want. You tell me which one you want, and I'll get it for you.
seeing I played at the Struggos and it was blue and white bandages, it'll be if he's got the 2004 jersey or something similar to that. I'll
Yeah,
yeah, the one that
we
went
can organize
crisscrossed.
it.
You know the bandages from 2004. I'll
Yep.
wear that one if they got it. If not, I'll have to settle for your 95 jersey. But we'll find out anyway.
Um, I just want to give a shout out to Nox Corvus, who's been a member of the channel for 1 month. Very quickly, if you do want to become a member, I've got the link pinned in the comment in the chat. All it does is like $6 or $7 a month, and what it does is just helps us pay for everything that it costs to run this podcast. So if you did want to become a member, please
I think
feel free to do it. It just
I
helps us
think
with all
I
the
think
stuff.
Tiam's wife's not happy. Where's Melbourne 13 plus? On the option. Sorry, Tiam. That
Abraha,
England.
Abraha,
Yep.
if Broncos win the comp, Elmo will put the Bronx jersey on. Listen, if you guys chip in, super chat for me to buy that Black Dog Institute Broncos jersey,
Hey, that was a
wallahi, I'll
mad
wear it.
shoes. That was an
Wallahi,
awesome
I'll wear
jersey.
it. If the Broncos win the grand final and we're getting this chat and you guys say we will chip in and get you the jersey, bro, I will wear it. Wallahi, I'll wear it. But I'll never pay for a Broncos jersey. Let me be very clear. I hate the Broncos. I hate the Broncos. I'm a Broncos
There you
hater.
go, Hoos. There you go, Hoos.
I'm a Broncos hater. I don't know. I tried to make it very obvious without saying it, but I'm gonna say it.
Thanks, Eddie.
I am a
You know
Broncos
what?
hater.
Somebody made me download Dotto, and I think he's watching, and I forgot it was downloading in the background, and it screwed up my whole internet. And the whole Dotto file's like about 60 gigs. Oh, I'm not going to mention names. He's probably going to make fun of me later, but yeah.
The only reason I don't hate the Broncos more is because they have Payne Haas, and Payne Haas is not only going to be the best forward to ever play the game, but he's a brother, and so I can't hate on Payne Haas. But I am a Broncos hater. It's clear, it's obvious. You guys should know. But I will say, um, look, if they get it right, if they can defend, they can go very far in the competition. I don't think they can defend though. I think that's the problem. Um, Say Jamal Kickout is playing. He only copped the Category 2 HIA. He passed his HIA test, came back, and he actually played the rest of the Sharks game. He's definitely playing. Um, very quickly, Elmo, can you speak about this? Whilst Kickout generally shows up at big games, but he's concussed. That's why I'm surprised he's playing.
Yeah.
It was a Category 2. I don't understand why. It was definitely a Category 2. Um, Broncos to win. Broncos win. Elmo to change pick to Walsh shirtless.
Gee whiz.
Oh,
Elmo, so you're going to take that on? Oh, he's not game enough.
all right. You know what? If the Broncos win the grand final, for the first couple of rounds of next year, I will have Walsh there shirtless. I will do it. And I'm a man, and you can hold me to it. And you
No.
can hold me to it. But you know why I'm game? You know why I'm game? I don't think the Broncos can do it. That's why I don't think. Anyway, now I just want to quickly check on the poll results. So actually, wow, we've had 39 votes on a Bulldogs podcast with a majority of Dogs fans, and
I want to split down the middle. Let me check.
no. So only 56% of Bulldogs fans think the Bulldogs are going to win.
Oh, so it's split down the middle almost.
Yeah, that is
Wow, doggies
that's
fans.
yeah, that's pretty disappointing. I gotta admit, you guys, you know what?
You
I
got that
gotta
shattered
punish,
Elmo.
bro. There's gotta be a way I can punish you guys for doing this because I can't believe you guys are actually thinking the Dogs are gonna lose. Like, where's your support? Where's your passion? Where's your loyalty to your team? Tuh, wallah. I'm so disappointed.
Far out. Go
Yeah, I'm
Elmo.
so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Um, so yeah, I'm gutted. I'm gutted. I'm very gutted. Anyway, while I have you here, please, if you did vote against the Bulldogs, give this video a thumbs up. If you did vote for the Bulldogs, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Um, we've got a lot of content coming. Please be sure follow us on the Instagram, follow us on the TikTok, follow us on the YouTube. Now, Um, with that, I'm going to say my man of the match is going to be Matt Burton. I think it's going to be a Matt Burton with a Bulldogs win. So that's where I think the Bulldogs will win. That's why I think will be man of the match. Who's your man of the match, Dibbo?
For me, Cam Munster, the tormentor, Cam
That's a great
Munster.
call. That's a great
I
call,
was
bro.
about to go Utikamanu, but then I saw Munster's name. He's got to step it up for his team. He's been a thorn in the side for about a decade in big games. He did it in Queensland. He's done it in countless games for Melbourne, in the finals, in the grand final. Surely he steps it up again. But yeah, going to be a cracking game on Friday. I can't wait.
So
Can't
Grant,
wait. I'll tell you what, if
Norm,
the Dogs win, I'll drive down to Belmore.
you better. You got to get me content, bro, so I can put up on the
Oh,
gram and the
um,
YouTube.
I was going to have some. I was going to have a fried chicken burger. But yeah,
um, Norm is saying that Grant man of the match. I think it's a good shout. If the Storm win, I think he'll have to be their man of the match. Tiam Elmo would make a cracker fullback. Actually, I played prop, believe it or not. I was a prop. I was a much bigger boy when I was younger. I was pretty decent. But you know, it is what it is. Um, Doggy
yeah, Elmo was
71.
a prop. Nice.
Galvin man of the match, bro. What a call! What a shout by Doggy 71. Galvin man of the match. What, bro? Can you imagine he comes out and tears Melbourne to shreds? Can you imagine Galvin comes out and just rips them apart and is man of the match, bro? What an announcement that would be! What a statement that would be by the Bulldogs and by Galvin. You know what? I'm changing mine. Galvin's gonna be man of the match. That's what I reckon. Galvin's gonna be man of the match.
Ah, this guy's glazed them. Nice.
It's gonna be man of the match. All right. With that, do we want to preview the?
Bloody oath. Come on.
Let's do it.
Who's 87's here? He wants to hear the chat about the Broncos Canberra. Bloody
Let's
oath.
do it. Let's do it. Sorry, guys. Let me just pull up the NRL website. Can you tell I'm excited though? Like, honestly, I cannot wait,
I
bro.
don't know what that feeling feels like. It's only been 7 years. I forgot what that feeling is. It's only been
Oh
seven.
man.
Thanks, Illawarra Steelers. I used to have butterflies and heart palpitations every year from as long as I could remember up to about 7 years ago. But yeah, thanks Illawarra Steelers. Thanks for bringing your culture. Anyways, well, they don't even exist anymore. Anyway, they went bust. They got bought out by Win. Their side of the share. So I don't know if you can even call them St George Illawarra anymore.
Morris, you're animated, Elmo. I am animated because I like honestly, I was driving home today from a business meeting. The weather was good. I had some whatever, I don't know what it was. It was playing some type of music that I don't know, just started playing on the radio.
It was
Um,
simply the best.
and I was just thinking about how long it's been before the Bulldogs fans have been in this situation, have been in this position. Um, and it's just, bro, the excitement is palpable. Like it is just so. I can't explain it, bro. I really
It's
can't explain it.
It's all right,
It's
Eddie.
so
I got
exciting.
reserve grade to look forward to, Eddie. The Dragons are in the finals of reserve grade. I don't even know what time, but I got reserve grade to look forward to. Anyways,
Anyway, so we've already spoken about the Dogs and the Storm. That's going to be Friday at 7:50 kickoff on at Amy Park. Obviously, Fox Sports, Channel 9 KO, all these things. Then Saturday 4:05 p.m. kickoff. Um, it's going to be the Dogs, Warriors, and the Panthers. Very quickly, I said that um, I want to do a review pod on Saturday. I may not be able to do that because I'll be driving back from Melbourne because we're driving down on Friday and we're going to be driving back on the Saturday. So I may not be able to do the Dogs review pod on Saturday. However, I would do a Dogs review on Sunday. If you're keen, Dibbo, I'd love to do a review pod on Sunday. Would that be something you'd be keen on?
if I'm around here, I could. I got I'm meant to be somewhere, but we'll see how we go.
We'll see how we go. I'll announce it. Keep a lookout on our Instagram. All right. So um, for the this game, so Mitch Kenny is out for the Panthers. I think it's a big loss. They've got Luke Summerton there though, who I think has been quite good when he's filled in. Um, for
What
for
what
the
happened to
yeah,
Mitch
sorry.
Kenny again? Sorry.
I'm pretty sure he's either. I don't actually know why he's out. I just know he's out. I think he's injured. I'm not actually
Massive
sure.
loss.
Yeah,
Massive loss. I love that Mitch Kenny.
he's bro. He's an absolute
Great player.
legend.
Came out of nowhere. Great player.
A great player, a great guy. Um, so let me just check quickly.
I'm
What
going
happened to
Penrith
Kenny?
Panthers by, I was going to say 14, but just a few late consolation Warriors tries will bring the margin to 8 points.
He's done his
28 to
hamstring.
20. All right,
Yeah, he's
28
done his
20 in favour
hamstring.
of Penrith. 28-20 Penrith. Jenks, thoughts?
Um, Yeah, look, I think the Panthers will have way too much for the Warriors, and I think it's unfortunate for the Warriors because if they had Barney, um, what's his name, the halfback, I forgot what his name is, Luke Metcalf, they
Luke
got injured.
Metcalf, yep.
Yeah, Rocco Berry and a couple of others. So they do have a few injuries, which is, it is a shame. Um, I think they would have done a lot better, but I just don't see them being able to match the Panthers, especially given how they have performed in the big games. So I'm going to say Panthers by 12. I think it won't be as bad a blowout as people think, but I do think that the Panthers will win comfortably. I think it'll be 12 points. But Mitch Kenny will be a big loss for the Panthers. I do reckon they will suffer a little bit not having Mitch Kenny there. Keen to hear your thoughts, guys. Jamie Teasdale reckons 18-12 to the Panthers.
Where's
We have
Waz
Mitch
TV
8.
to fly the flag? Waz TV normally flies the flag on him.
Yeah, he's not here. Luke Wiskowski is I do surprised Jenkins dropped. I do think Alamotti has earned a spot in the 17 though. Think be better off bench over Schneider. Just to get my Alamotti over him. It doesn't come on if all goes to plan. Bro,
Well, I would have
I'm
went Jenkins on the form, but I mean, Alamotti did win a grand final, so and he played awesome in the finals last year. His best two career games were subsequently the preliminary final and the grand final. That was his best two
uh
career games. Oh, no kidding.
I
Remember?
I, I I agree 100 million percent. Like when you look at the way he performed in that grand final, I think he saved it for the Panthers. Um, he deserves to be there. Like that's the thing. I think that Alamotti deserves to be there. But what I don't understand is why have Jenkins there the whole year, only for at the last minute to swap him with Alamotti when you've had Alamotti on reserves.
Brad can't reach. Oh man, Elmo, if you guys lose, is that going to be a long drive back? And then knowing that you might have to play Penrith of all
Ah,
teams,
not
but you
really.
Brad. So I'm gonna. That's gonna be one pissed off drive back. I'm gonna make
Look,
sure you. Oh, Corey, you better answer me if I call after a
look.
loss. I don't want to get
If the
ignored.
dogs, if the dogs get smashed, it'll be a shit drive back. But if it's a great game, like
Oh, hey, yeah, go on.
we've got the second chance. I don't think it's going to be that
Brad
devastating.
asked,
But
yeah, Brad asked earlier, and I thought it was a good suggestion. Like, can you, if you're not driving, can you just do a live cross from the back from the car while it's going? Like, we'll jump in that and comment. That's what it is, just to get comments and all that. I've seen other podcasters on their
you know
drives,
what?
like some drive trucks, other podcasters, and they get good views. And whilst they're working and driving, obviously, I was on the road, but I have the camera set up in the truck cab or whatever, and they'll be talking to footy, and you jump on, there's about 30, 40 people on commenting. It's
Yeah,
pretty good
I could absolutely.
if you're not
Like
driving only.
if you guys would want to hear what I have to say and sort of give me and see my live reactions, whether I'm shattered or not on the way back home, I'll do it. I have no problem with doing it. There will be others that can drive, so I'm happy to do that if that's something that you guys want. It will just depend on the internet connection because obviously as you drive through Victoria and New South Wales, there are some patchy spots. But bro, if that's what you guys want, I give the people what they want, bro. I'm in. Let's do it. I will be there as soon as we drive back on Saturday morning, maybe around midday. I'll jump on the live. What do you reckon? I'm happy to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that'll be nice. Yeah. I mean, if the
Um,
dogs win, I'll be glazing them with you. If they lose, I
we'll,
don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll test the waters to see how you're feeling, whether I can bait you or not. But yeah,
very quickly, I just want to shout out I do want to shout out Norm Eater. He gave us an $8 super chat. Thank you very much. Is there anything
Thanks,
you want
Norm.
to say, Norm, with that super chat, or is it just a hey,
Well,
thank
yeah,
you guys
Norm.
for
Or
talking
is that
shit?
for my? Is that for my to upgrade from my 56.6 kilobytes
I
with
think it's the
data
upgrade kit, isn't it?
to some cable? Oh, I don't know. What do they even have these days? I remember signing some contract for this NBN. I don't even know what it was. Who? I don't know. I think they've provided Optus. I better double check that.
Yeah, I think it is. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
See, Elmo knows
Uh,
more about my internet than I do, and I'm always having a go at me.
um, so Doggy71 reckons 38-6 to the Panthers. Look, I can see it blowing out like that. I just don't know if it will. But it's not a bad shout, honestly, in my opinion. Um, People are saying saying there's no way Jenkins plays over Alamotti. Yeah, look, like again, it's just surprising because Alamotti was there for the whole year. Sorry, Jenkins was there over Alamotti when they were both available. So to see the change there, it's interesting. But you know what? It shows the courage um, that Ivan Cleary has, and it's something that I think Seraldo hasn't yet built. Because I feel like if Seraldo had the courage, Salmon would be the first to go. Um, and that's something Seraldo won't do. So, yeah, it's interesting. Quick comment by Eddie Abs. I turn off my phone when we lose. I don't turn off my phone, but I don't go on social media because, as you can imagine, I get
Hey,
absolutely
oh,
pumped.
no, the best was people used to put their phone on flight mode, forgetting that
Uh,
it doesn't. If they're sitting at home, they're stuck on the Wi-Fi. It doesn't disable WhatsApp. So I just used to just dial one of those messaging services as well, where there was WhatsApp or Telegram or something. Yeah, it's funny. You know straight away. So yeah,
um,
yeah.
all right. Now, yeah. So, look, I think the Warriors, if they do go out here, I think they should still be very proud of what they've achieved. And some of the stuff that they've been able to do to build into next year, I reckon, is amazing. Like, and I just noticed that actually they've got Leka Halasima starting, which I reckon is a mad move. I don't know if he can play 80 minutes, but I think he will give them a little bit of
He's going to
punch
be
in
their.
that first
He's going to be
20.
their best. Yeah, he'll be their best forward in years to come. He's a star already at 19, so
Agreed. And I
yeah, he'll,
agreed.
he'll be their powerhouse in years to come.
Look, another one who I think has been absolutely out of sight for them this year is Aaron Clark. I think, like, Ayungi's been
Oh
great for the
yeah,
Eels, and there's been a few other good players, but bro, Aaron Clark has to be up there as
he's.
the best buy of the season. He has to
Oh,
be
so
up
you
there.
know what? He's another reason why Tino should leave the Titans. Aaron Clark was at the Titans last year. He was heavily involved, a very willing player, but he just felt like, geez, this guy could be something if he went
Yeah,
to
I
another
agree,
club that
100%.
could, give him the because he'd come off the bench or cover up prop. You just
Yeah,
think that if another club gave him a free run around to bring the rage, he'd be something. And you know what, Warriors, great signing. And another reason why Tino needs to leave the Gold Coast, they can start all over again. He can go to Perth Bears or St George. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
look,
but you know what? If he goes to Melbourne, wow, shut the gates.
look.
Shut the gates.
I will say I think that I would like to see Tino give Josh Hannay a chance to see
No,
what Josh Hannay brings, because I
doesn't
think,
need to. Doesn't
look,
need to. It's the whole
It, do-
roster.
it doesn't have to, but if you look at what Riles has brought to the Eels, I'm not saying he's going to do the exact same thing, but I do think he can do something similar for the Titans.
Did you
So,
see? Did you see how many players Riles cleaned out before the season and during the season?
and I think Josh will do the same. I think Josh Hannay will do the same, but I also
I
think
like
that
to see him go somewhere else. Yeah.
I reckon Tino could be the first, the first captain in a very long time to get the Titans into a successful position. Look, he may not win a grand final there, but I do think he's won one with Melbourne. So I don't know if he's chasing the premiership still. Um,
I
but
just want
you know,
to, like Tiam, like he might not be right, but I reckon Luai has been a good signing for the Tigers. They finished with a flurry. It seems like the culture's being turned around. The Tigers are starting to sign players. Like they've got Kai Pearce Paul going next season
yeah,
there.
100%, hundred
They
percent.
got the May brothers, like that May in this the May brother that plays centre. What's his name again? Who's at
Taylor
Penrith?
May.
Wow, he was on the verge of making New South Wales in Australia. They represent Samoa, and then obviously he had his off-field issues. I hope he's turned his life around. But mate, they're starting to sign some
Yeah,
players. I'll tell you what,
yeah,
Lai's been
yeah.
a very good signing.
He's been amazing for them. I think he's been worth every dollar. He may not have performed like they wanted him to, but I think he will get
The
better
culture's
next year.
changing,
Yeah.
hopefully, and look, they're starting to attract players. I've never seen the Tigers sign that many players
Mm. Yeah, I agree.
in ages.
Um, so that's that's where I think it is. Yeah, so Panthers seem like the obvious option. What I am surprised about is why hasn't he chosen that young prop that they've got? What's his name? Um, the young Panthers prop. I've got big raps on him, but he's not even in the 23. Do you remember his name, Dibbo? Um, yeah, I can't
For
remember. For the
Voboga,
Panthers. No, for the
oh,
Panthers.
starts with the L, I think. Latoro or something, something
He's
like
not.
that. Anyway,
He's not even injured. Young Panthers prop. I don't know. Anyway, I'll look it up. But yeah. All right. Luron Patea. Yeah, thanks, Wiskowski. I have big raps on Luron Patea, and I thought he would have definitely been on the bench. He provides a lot of impact. I think he would have been better to have there than a Brad Schneider, for example. Which sometimes Brett Schneider doesn't even play. So yeah, I'm very surprised that Luron Patea hasn't gotten a chance to play in this finals game, but it is what it is. All right, next game. Um, let's go next game. It will be the Sharks and the Roosters, bro. Bro, this is such a difficult game to tip. I actually don't know who's gonna win this game. I'm gonna let you take over this one, Dibbo, because I think you may have more of an idea than me.
I was tipping the Roosters, but I've changed my tip at the last minute to the Sharks. I feel like Canterbury played them into some form, gave them some confidence, and I think the Sharks can carry that. They're at home in front of a screaming 11,500 people at Shark Park with toilet cubicles in the background. Going to be a harrowing experience for the latte sippers from the eastern suburbs that are used to marble toilets. Well, I think the Sharks. I did write them off. They did win in their last meeting. I've changed it again back to Sharks. I think their forward pack will hold against Cronulla's forward pack, and I'm not relying on Hines to get Cronulla over the line. I'm relying on they got a very stable 1-17. I'm relying on basically them to grind themselves to a win against the Roosters. It's gonna be a. I think they'll get there. I think they'll get home by 1 or 2 tries. Cracking game. Like Roosters have been hot recently, but they did crash against Eels, and like I touched on earlier. And then obviously looking at Adam Fanua-Blake, when you scroll down, I expect him to be the most dominant prop on the field, the most dominant forward. I think will be the main reason why Cronulla will get home by 1 or 2 tries. So, yeah, thanks to the Bulldogs, of course, for giving them that confidence boosting 24-6 win. Thank you, Bulldogs.
Um, I think the Sharks are going to win. I don't know. I have a feeling that they're going to ambush the Roosters because I feel like everybody's expecting the Sharks to shit themselves in the finals again. And I think the biggest difference this year is going to be Blake Brayley. Actually think that he's in sublime form. He's been the form number 9 for the last 12 weeks. And I just think if the Sharks get on the back of Blake Brayley, I reckon their forward pack is very strong, and I think that both Trindle and Hines can work a lot of magic off the back of their forward pack and Blake Brayley. I just think they'll have too much, and like their team is still very young. So they've got Sam Walker and Hugo Savala, fantastic players in their own right, young halves team. Then you've got a very, very young bench. Benaya Iolu, Blake Steep, Siwa Wong. Egan Butcher's not as young, but still, it's a young team. When you compare them to the Sharks, I think the Sharks just have a little bit more experience. And the other thing is, the Sharks have the speed to
Yep.
match the Roosters. I think that's the one thing that you got to remember. Like the Roosters have
And
done
they
very
got
well because,
and they got
yeah.
some forwards. They both got cracking forwards,
Oh
man. Like
yeah,
cracking.
100%. I actually think the Sharks forward pack is much better than the Roosters. Not
I just
much better.
think
Yeah.
I just think Nico Hines has been a bitch since he got found out, Mr. Pretty Boy. You give him no time.
Mm.
He needs to really step it up if Cronulla are to win. But like I said earlier, he's not going to be the reason Cronulla win. Ever since he got found out, he's just been a real bitch anyway. So,
I,
yeah.
I just think they've got a great back line. Cal Ito's just re-signed, and I feel like, as I say, I think the player of the competition has been, if you, in the top three, I think Blake Brayley has been there. Um, I do want to say though that Toby Rudolph is a grub. The guy is scummy. Against the Titans, he shat himself and he kept playing. Um, I don't know. I don't know how there hasn't been
Like
more
he
fuss.
loves talk. That guy loves talking a lot of dirty shit. Like I hope somebody whacks him.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
always wants the one that wants to talk something
It's just
dirty or against the grain just to
it,
get everyone
it's
against
just
each other.
disgusting. The other thing I think that will work in the Sharks' favor, is the Roosters are very very poor discipline in general. They'll have they will struggle to hold the ball. That's what I reckon. They will struggle to hold the ball, and with that, will suffer. And the Sharks will be able to um, get on the top of that. So what I'm saying, I reckon it's going to be 30-22 to the Sharks. I reckon it's going to be close. I really really think it's going to be close, but I think the Sharks get away with it. 30-22.
Yeah, nice. All right.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll go Cronulla by. I'm going to go 2 tries. So I'll go
fair.
30-20.
Quickly, for the
Roosters new league points.
Warriors and Panthers, your man of the match,
Nathan Cleary.
Nathan Cleary. I was going to say either Nathan Cleary um, or Dylan
Edwards.
Edwards. Yeah.
Cleary for
Um,
me. Yep.
Sharks and Roosters, man of the match.
Adam Fanua Blake.
Yeah. I think if the Sharks win, it's either going to be Adam Fanua Blake or Blake Brayley. If the Roosters win, I'm going to say Sam Walker. Either Sam
Or
Walker or
or,
Tedesco.
or Nafar or Farah Angus Crichton's a handful.
It's
Far out.
true. I
What
mean,
a game.
Mark Nawanga Tinawase can pull
I'm
absolute
actually
rabbit out of
happy.
the hat too.
I'm actually happy these sides have made the finals. Can you imagine sides like St George playing in the finals? It's like
Bruh, they would
why
have
would I
brought it.
even watch this? Why would I even watch this with their current lineup? Anyways, on to the next game.
Um,
Um, oh yeah, who's 87? Rub your hands, mate. Who's
oh yeah,
87?
yeah,
Oh no, you
yeah.
can take this one away. I'll give the second input on this one. Bring the rage, bring the hate, bring the fire.
Oh, okay. So I was actually going to say this was going to be match of the round to me, even though I think all four matches are going to be absolutely outstanding. Um, but this is going to be a remarkable game. Like this is going to be a very very high intensity game. Um, I'm going to
Whoever
say that. I
thought?
think,
Whoever go on. I was gonna have a laugh on this one, but yeah.
yeah, I think that Ben Hunt is a better seven for Reece Walsh than Adam Reynolds is. That's my first take. I think Billy Walters is slept on as a six. I rate Billy Walters as a six and as a nine.
Can this is where I was going to have a laugh. Can you believe what seems to be the Broncos' best halves pairings actually Ben Hunt and Billy Walters? So,
Who have been
the
playing
way,
nine the whole year.
because the way it was looking was going to be Reynolds and Mam at 7 and
Yeah.
6, and then Hunt at 9, and Walters lucky to. Well, Walters was probably going to be the replacement hooker, but look at them. There they are, starting halfback, starting hooker, and I'd say keep it like that because I can almost guarantee you that if Reynolds plays, he's coming down with injury. I guarantee any game he plays in the finals this year, he's going to break down and be injured. Guaranteed. How many times
Yeah.
have we seen it the last 2 years? He's just injured.
He can't
Just
play high
retire
intensity
already.
games. Yeah,
Retire.
I
Make it
agree.
your last
Yeah, I agree.
season.
Well, I
He's
agree.
playing
He can't.
too soon. He's a liability.
Mm. He can't play high intensity games.
His body's giving way.
Yeah.
We've all. I cop that. You know, when you get to that age, you're going to tear a hamstring, a quad. In my case, an Achilles. You're going to do something.
So Reece
That's it. Your
Walsh
body's had it.
calf injury earlier today. Apparently, went off, then came back on, did some kicking, and then left. So there is a bit of an injury cloud around Reece Walsh, and also an injury cloud around Josh Papali'i.
Do you
Um,
reckon? Do you reckon Who's 87 was hyperventilating when that news came
yeah,
out about Walsh?
100%, 100%. 100%. I actually don't think that the Broncos can win it without Walsh. He's been so good for them the last 4 weeks. So I think they can't win it without him. That's me being genuine. Um, but I will say this: if he does play, it'll be a close game. But the difference is going to be their bench. I think that the Broncos bench is disgusting. The Broncos bench, like honestly, like the extended reserves for the Raiders are better than the Broncos bench. Jaden Hunt, Hetherington, and Smoothie um, are three of the same nothing. Um, I don't rate them at all. And I think that when you compare them to Owen Paddy, Simi Sasangi, Morgan Smithies, and Ata Mariota, they're much better. And even if Papali'i is gone, you bring Mario Nicholson onto the bench, and you move Sasangi to start. Even Trey Mooney, you can bring him onto the bench and you can start, or even Ata Mariota. I just think that overall, the Raiders will have more excitement in them for 80 minutes than the Broncos will. Having said that, the one thing about the Broncos they have a Payne Haas, and no one else has a Payne Haas. So he will make a big difference. Um, Ultimately, though, I think that the class of the Raiders and the fact that they can actually defend will work against the Broncos, because all of a sudden the Broncos aren't facing a dilapidated Melbourne. They're not facing a Bulldogs without five of their origin stars. They're not facing a Knights or a Rabbitohs D grade team, and they're going to have to actually face a real team, and they're going to have to play with high intensity. And they've shown time and time again this year that they can barely do that. So I don't think that the Broncos will win this game. I think the Raiders will win this. I'm going to say 10 to 14 points, two try. I think it'll be a two-score game, and the Raiders win this comfortably against a Broncos team that I think has majorly overachieved. Um, that's my honest opinion. That's not me hating. I do reckon though that the Broncos will be here and they'll put up a good fight, and it's going to be such a mad game. Like as I say, this could be a this could be game of the round, even though all the other four games
It's going
are
to be a high
great.
scoring game. High scoring. Do
It'll
you
be high
reckon?
scoring for the Raiders.
Um, well, I still reckon
So
Broncos can.
I just want to put on the Broncos. Sorry, I just want to
Man,
put on the Broncos.
I'll tell you what, the Broncos forward pack, they got some names there, man. Like obviously the king of the forwards, Payne Haas, Carrigan. Piakura's been in great form this last
Yeah,
month. Ricky's finally picked it up. I was calling him soft. Corey Jensen, he's in career best form, and obviously Kobe Hetherington's off the bench. He's probably, for me, he's their best player on that bench by far, and he's obviously off to Manly, so he'd want to try go out a winner. But their forward pack needs to play the game, their best form since obviously 2023,
yeah, I agree.
and play the games of their lives. But far, like look at the Canberra team;
Yeah.
it is so stacked.
If I'm honest with you, I actually think
Like
that
where's
the Broncos. Yeah,
like if you look at their bench, is that Matty Nicholson in 18?
yeah, he's
Like
18th
it's
man.
insane. Like this guy was setting the world on fire till he got injured. And he's in
And that's
18.
what,
Like, even,
yeah.
I'd still love to have him on the bench, to be honest. I reckon he can still creep in. But they got
Mooney's on
such,
the bench. You know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy. They got such a stacked team like Hudson Young, Zach Hoskins, Tarpany, like Horsburgh. They all bring the energy. Like, and
yeah,
obviously, there's the old bull. I mean, it doesn't play like he's an old bull, but Papali'i, it's like they're all raging to outdo each other on the field. Like, and they've been on this year. They've been on. Obviously the Canberra 6 and 7. KOX playing in
great, bro. Look at
yeah,
the
like
speed they've got.
the only concerns I got with the whole Canberra team is if you go to their 2, 3, 4, and 5, how are they going to defend? Are they going to bring the rage? Are they on? They've been on most games, but we can see that you can easily put them to the
They
sword
are
if you bring it.
vulnerable. Absolutely. They are.
Like,
If look,
Crichton showed it. A few other teams have shown it. It's another tough one to tip. I'm going to give
if they
Canberra
get
the
early
advantage.
ball, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'm going to give Canberra the benefit on this one. Just they finished one. It's I don't know what I'm going to get from Brisbane. Like, am I going to get the hot Brisbane that we have they
Mm,
played sides hard, like that have been tip top when they produced those wins. And obviously Canberra's at home. Canberra's already beaten them this year. And they beat them well, if you remember. Like we all
Yeah.
thought Brisbane was going to smack them. Canberra smacked them instead.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's going to be a tight game, I still reckon. I still reckon it's going to be a tight game. At this stage, and you know what? I'm going to go Canberra. I'm going to actually go Canberra by a try. 28-24. I've got this scoreline in my head. 28-24 or 24-20. Yeah, Canberra. I think Canberra's going to win this.
I think that the Canberra Raiders will score a lot of points on the Broncos. The thing is why I think that
You don't think Canberra will leak points?
I just don't think that the Broncos have shown any type of calm or consistency or ability to show up for big games. So when you
It's
look
a
at
finals game.
Yeah,
You
when you
don't
look
think
at
so?
like no, I don't. I don't at all. I think when you look at even their last 10 rounds, they haven't shown that they're a serious team. Look, I know people want to talk about the Bulldogs, and that's fine. Talk about the Bulldogs. Say whatever you want, and I'll probably agree with you, right? But I'm a doggy supporter. But from a neutral perspective, when I look at the Broncos, if we just go back, I'm not going to go back that far. Let's go back. Let's just go back, right? Let's go from round 20, right? Round 20, they had a bye. Round 21, they lost to the Eels 22-20. They pumped a D grade Rabbitohs team. They got pumped by the Storm, right? Missing Jerome Hughes. Then they had to come back and win. The Dolphins were pumping them 28-16 or something, and they had to come back and win, right? Which
A
has been the
good,
story of
a
their
good,
lives,
yeah, boosting win. But yeah, go on.
right? They pumped the Knights 46-12 after they had a bit of a scare in the first 20, 25 minutes, and then they only beat the Cowboys by 8 points. The Cowboys, who have the worst defense in the competition, right? They beat them 38-30, and then they
Yep.
went and beat the Broncos 30, the Storm 30-14 at Suncorp.
They
So
can score. They can score, but they do
they
leak
can
tries.
score. They not only do they leak tries, but again, like when they've had pressure on them, they've lost. So the Storm at Melbourne, they've lost. Eels at Suncorp, they lost. Then you look at even up there in Queensland Country Bank Stadium, they almost lost. So it's like they're going to GIO Stadium, they're flying to Canberra. This isn't going to be some run of the mill game. They're going to have to prove themselves. And genuinely, like I only started around 20, but if you go before around 20, they right
They're
they
they're
barely won
they're
against the
doing
Titans.
they're doing better at the right time. If you want to put
I
it that way.
I don't think so. If you want to be honest, I don't think they are. Sure, they've won 4 in a row, but none of those wins were convincing, and that's
They
why.
won. They strung some wins together.
Um, Look, all I'm saying is that I think the Raiders are going to be much better than the Broncos. I hope it's a great game and the best team wins. If the Broncos are the best team on the day and they win, that's all I want to see. Bro, it's the same thing against the Dogs and the Storm. If the Storm are the best team on the day and the Storm win, it is what it is. But I want to see a good game and I want to see the best team win. I just
All
don't
right.
think the
Give
Broncos
us
have it in them
give
to be
us
the
your
best team.
prediction. How much Canberra by how much? 20?
Canberra by two scores. So Canberra by 12. Um, Canberra by 12. Uh, and I
Sound
think
like you
Man.
sound like Canberra by 20 or plus, by the way. I
No,
thought you were going to go Canberra like 38-20 or something.
no, I think Canberra will win by
Why
12,
not?
and I think
Yep.
Ethan Strange will be man of the match.
Oh, good shout. That's an excellent shout. I'm going to get my man of the match is going to be Tarpany. Joe Tarpany in the forwards. He's going to have a titanic battle. Fuck, it's hard to get one over Payne Haas. I think he'll do enough to marshal the Canberra troops and get Canberra home in a tight game. Tight game. Brisbane's
And what
back
do you
in the
think the score is
finals.
going to
They went
be?
all the way to the grand final 2 years ago. So it's going to be a good game.
What do you think the score is going to be?
Oh, 28-24 or 24-20, something along those lines. I reckon it's going to be a
Yeah,
four-pointer. One try
yeah,
difference.
excellent, fantastic. All right, it's going to be a mad finals game. Finals week. Sorry, as I said, I am driving down to Melbourne. On the way back at midday on Saturday, I will do a live ride along, whatever you want to call it, to review the game. I'm very, very excited. It's my first time down at Amy Park. If you are going to be at the game, um, hit me up on Instagram, the Kennel Podcast on Instagram, and I will let you guys know where I'm going to be. So that way, like, let's catch up. At least if we say hello, um, and have a bit of a chat. Um, hit me up. I'm so excited to go down there. I'm so excited for this. I just want to see things happen. I just want to see a good game. Like, this is the best time of the year. This is truly and honestly the best time of the year. I feel like when this when this comes around, I'm like a bit of a kid. I feel just excitement and so much anticipation. I, I I do.
Hey
Um,
Elmo, you know what I saw today, and I sent you the video. The council work on the back of the tractor for the cricket field. They stuck the Bulldogs flag. I thought you were going to post that up. A still shot. That was pretty good.
I will
I
post
went
it
down
up.
to the cricket field, and the groundskeeper on the big tractor that mows all the lawn. And he had all the feelers, the extenders out.
It looked it
And
looked pretty good.
yeah, he had the Bulldog. It was that Bulldogs logo from like late '90s. Remember the Super League logo, kind of up
Yeah,
to
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the 2000s. And he just made it going. I go, yep, it's that time of year. You know what? I was happy to see. I go, totes to him for basically displaying his colours, and that's what you want. Finals time of the year, you want every team in
Absolutely.
the finals to display those colours. Really like they're
Um,
patriotic.
so I want to do this quickly just to show sort of what the potential outcomes will be. So if the Dogs win, they go straight to prelim two, and then they will verse um, whoever wins out of, say, the Broncos and the Sharks. So it could be in prelim two, it could be Dogs v Sharks, Dogs v Broncos. It could even be potentially Dogs v Raiders, or Dogs v Roosters. Um, and then the Panthers end up on the other side. So if
I said
the
you'd want to
small,
win.
yeah,
Oh, you'd want to win this one.
yeah,
Yeah, you
uh,
would. Fuck, it's the easier. It becomes kind of like the safer side of the draw, if you want to put it that way.
yeah, because what ends up
It's
happening
such
is
a hard finals. It's so hard. Like
it is
it's just a weird sort of year, not a
because
standout sort of year.
if the Dogs win and they're prelim two, right? It will be Melbourne and Penrith based on what we think is going to happen, and then the winner of that will go on to face the Raiders or the Broncos. Like, whichever
Yep.
way it works out, it's going to be a great final series, and it's so open. Like, you can't say one team is like, the only team you can sort of rule out is the Warriors because of the injuries, but everybody else is like right in there. Because even though we've got injuries, and even though the Storm have got injuries, we've got two bites of the cherry, whereas the Warriors don't. That's why, like, I have their chances less than others. But other than that, like, it's completely open, and I think this year more than any, I think the Sharks like have a chance to win. I know the Roosters have done well to this point, but I don't think the Roosters are going to go very far. That's genuinely my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think the Roosters are going to go very far just looking at it. Um, Norm, I will be staying in Melbourne overnight, inshallah. Um, so yeah, if you guys see me at the game, if you guys are in Melbourne, please hit me up on the Instagram. We've been on for 2 hours. This has been fantastic. I love everybody that's still here. We still have 48 people. Please give it a thumbs up. Very, very quick final shout out to essenceexchange.com.au. If you go on
Oh,
to
yeah.
essenceexchange.com.au, you will get 20% off. Dibbo, you wanted to announce the winner of the Essence Exchange perfume. Do you want
Yeah.
to do that?
Yeah, this week's one's going to be Jamie Teasdale. He's been
Congratulations,
a supporter
Jamie.
of Jamie from day dot. So Elmo will reach out. If he's going down to Melbourne, you can probably hand it to him there.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
if
we'll grab your postal address. I like this confidence one where he said Connor Tracy will come out and have a blinder, and King will come out like a wrecking ball. Very optimistic, getting behind this team. And he's obviously pointed out, where has this been all year? That's the sort of comments the Dogs fans will be saying in jubilation. So, yeah, he's putting his money where his mouth is, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, his confidence backing his team. Expecting there's two. He's pointed out about King. He's extremely important for the Dogs. Him and Sam
um,
Hughes.
to everyone that's still here, tomorrow there's a good chance that I will have a 2004 Bulldogs grand final winner previewing the Dogs versus Storm game live on YouTube. I have not confirmed it yet, hence why I haven't mentioned it specifically. But there's a strong chance that tomorrow, sometime during the day, just keep an eye out on the YouTube and on the Instagram. We will have a 2004 grand final winner previewing the Dogs versus the Storm. Live on YouTube, so you can come on, ask your questions about the '04 grand final. You can ask so many different things. So just keep an eye on that. But with all that said, tonight was a great podcast. I love you all. I had so much fun. I look forward to Friday night, and I look forward to the ride along podcast on Saturday. Um, Thank you so much to everyone that's still here, even you, Mookie. Even you, Maras, even you, Who's 77, even though you guys support the Broncos, I love you guys. I love the banter. You got to know it's all love. It's never ever malicious. I just like to have a laugh. And whoever you support, I hope your team does well. Unless you support the Broncos, I hope the Broncos lose. But the Dogs are going to the grand final, baby. Jamie, I'll hit you up on Instagram, and we'll talk about the perfume that you won. Have a good night, guys. Take it easy.
See you, gents.
Oh, and very quickly, sorry, before we go, quick shout out. Eddie, wish EJ the best on his grand final on Saturday. I hope the doggies come through for him on Saturday night so he can give him a bit of a rev up to go out there and kill it on Saturday. So yeah, big.
Eddie, post the
What's it called?
details where the game's at. Maybe some of us might rock up, but if you want, it's up to you. But yeah.
Yeah, best of luck to EJ, Eddie Abs. I hope everything goes well. Have a good night, guys. Take it easy.